Unseen threads connect the cosmic light. Pages flipping in the spirit guide. Truths concealed by a universe wide. Phenomenon files we delve so deep. Through the black void where secrets sleep. Ghostly echoes and celestial screams. Mapping mysteries that outshine dreams. Stardust forms an encrypted code. Fragmented tales of a lost abode. Professionals searching through the haze. Cataloging the otherworldly blaze. Phenomenon files we delve so deep. Through the black void where secrets sleep. Ghostly echoes and celestial screams. Mapping mysteries that outshine dreams. Signals hum on a frequency strange. Supernatural whispers shift and change. Tobin's whispers guide us through the streams. Boundaries blur between truth and dreams. Orbiting questions without a tether. A fabric of worlds stitched together. Stars hold answers locked in disguise. A galaxy adorned
I've got one that can see.
Stardust forms an encrypted code. Fragmented tales of a lost abode. Professionals searching through the haze. Cataloging the otherworldly
Welcome to the Phenomenon Files, everybody. Thank you for being here. We got Theta Ranger right here. We got MageGrayWolf, the legendary wizard skeptic. And we've got File 13 with us here today. And we're going to be talking some shit. We're going to be doing the Travis Walton experience that gave way to the movie Fire in the Sky, which is a really fun movie to watch. And we're also going to delve into the folklore of the Sleepy Hollow, the legend of the Headless Horseman. We're going to have some fun today, everybody. So how are you doing, MageGrayWolf? What do you got going on?
I'm doing pretty good. I was just been looking forward to this for a while now.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while. Yeah, we took a week off. I was I was taking care of business. Just gotta do what I do, pay the bills and shit like that.
Yep.
So it just unfortunately we had to skip a week. I don't know, maybe it was 2 weeks. I don't even remember at this point. Yeah, so yeah, it's been a while, but we're gonna get this going and have a great time every Tuesday at 7 p.m. I think that's the time that we all decided on. It's starting to get dark right now, so we're about to get spooky and sci-fi and have the fantasy, the elves and fairies flying around and all that shit. And I don't mean the gay fairies, the gay
The midnight witching hour.
Yeah, and File 13, what's going on with you, buddy? You got any new videos? That meow one was fucking legend as usual, man.
We were partying last night,
I
very
know.
late, very very late. But
Yeah.
you know what? Let's get the party started. I hate Travis Walton, so we'll just start from there.
Really? Oh, well, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be real interesting.
I did notice that a lot of people seem to look at him as a hoax, even among UFO enthusiasts.
Really? Oh, I did not know that. All the stuff. Well, we'll get into it, but I do want to get into saying hi to everybody. BOTE Chris. Hell yeah! 15 more minutes to the show. No, buddy, show's already started. We're 6 minutes in already. No, I know you were here early, man. You were first in line, so first say hi. How are you doing, buddy? And then Casey's Creepy Fucking Creations with his 5 months membership at the highest level, one with the Morphin Grid. He is a fucking legend. Along with Gunner, they are single-handedly making sure to keep up their highest level memberships, and it is, you have no idea how much it helps. I just can't thank you enough. And your commercial will be finished soon. I had to take some time to finish the introduction that you just saw. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. I put a lot of work into it, so hopefully y'all enjoyed it. And yeah, so we got started. Then Casey's Creepy Creations again gifted 5 Theta Zord memberships. We're getting the train rolling. Chugga 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 choo choo. We got some memberships now. We actually got we're in double digits. We're in the 20s now, I think. Yeah, so we got like 20 members, including both you and Gunner. I'm so blessed, and I'm so grateful that y'all are here supporting the channel. Thank you so much. And this is my hat trick today. This is the 3rd stream in a row, the 3rd day I'm streaming in a row. So this is my hat trick. Never done this before. I've had content for the past 3 days, every day, and we're gonna try to go for 2 to 3 hours today. Seems like we're going to have a lot of content to go over because we also have a little surprise in the Ghostbusters arena. We're going to be going over classifications and things of that nature. So yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy that. And Jedi Master 2022, hey Theta, thank you for being here, Jedi Master. I know that you have dinner and you had stuff that you're doing, but I appreciate you stopping by and supporting the channel as usual. You are amazing. You rock, man. BOT Chris, damn good thing I refreshed YouTube because I was still on the thumbnail. Oh yeah. YouTube's just fucked up right now, and yeah. So you might, every once in a while you might need to refresh. But hopefully you got to see the majority of that song. Maybe if y'all didn't see the introduction, maybe we'll play it again at the end. Maybe that'll be the outro as well, and y'all can get it in its full glory if y'all missed it. Gunner, Hail Theta Zord, Casey's Creepy Creations, and panel. I'll have to listen in and be in the background while at work. I understand that, sir. You're always here, regardless if you're at work or not. You're always here supporting the channel at the highest level. Again, one with the Morphin Grid. It is amazing that I have people like you that support this channel. And here is Casey's Creepy Creations. He just went to 100 subscribers on his channel. Let's get him to 200. Let's go ahead and start going to, get him to 200 and then 300. And let's just go from there to 500 to 1,000. Let's just get him monetized so he can start making content and getting paid for it, because his content is fucking awesome. I don't know if y'all have MageGrayWolf and File 13. Have y'all checked out his
oh
his
yes,
channel?
definitely.
Yes.
He has such good stories. He writes them all. He makes amazing content. File 13 doing double duty in the chat. Hail to the chat, sir. Thank you so much for doing double duty. Gunner, thanks for supporting the channel, Casey. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, Casey. And you too, Gunner. You're always here supporting the channel. Even if it's not, financially, you're here supporting the channel. You're always putting comments after the stream's over, which is what everybody should be doing. Once the stream is over, leave a comment in the comment section below. When the stream is over, it really helps get the channel YouTube algorithm going and get more people in here, get new subscribers, get new audience members, people that like it, and some that might not, but the more people that get a chance to see it, the more people might actually enjoy it, and we can grow and have a great time together, supporting each other. As Tony always says, a rising tide raises all ships, and right now I'm trying to raise as many ships as I can, since Tony has helped raise me. So I have to pay it forward, even though I separate the art from the artist. Kevin Spacey, he did make a great movie with a lot of great movies actually, but Pay It Forward was a really, really good movie, and I kind of try to live my life by that. For every good thing that happens to me, I try to do 3 good things for 3 other people. So thank you so much, BOTE Chris. That was a damn good opening. Hell yeah, thank you so much, man. That means a lot. You have no idea how much work I was putting into it today. I literally finished 20 minutes before the stream started, and then I went and ate some food real quick, and then I jumped on here like that. So I'm glad that we pushed the time back to 7 o'clock, and yeah, it just worked out perfectly. So is Suzanne here? Hey, Suzanne, if you're in here, hope you're doing all right. Love you, Mama. I hope you're doing all right. Love to hear from you. And then we got Casey's Creepy Creations again with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Not only with the 5 memberships, but with the $2 again. You have been helping this channel grow so much the past couple days and the past couple months, honestly. But the past couple days, you've been putting in a lot of support, and I can't thank you enough. Just make sure you're taken care of first. Don't think you have to, do super chats and stuff to make it up. Make sure you're taken care of first.
Yeah.
So, FKHC 2005. Is this the donkey show? It might be after hours. We might get into it. It might be a mule, might be a donkey. I don't know who actually is coming. Kinky Kelly, I think, is the name, but we'll see. FKHC, while I'm here, if you want to show the photo from yesterday. Oh yeah, Tony never showed it. Okay, I got to show this real quick. I promised. Well, it's not that I promised. It's just that I really want to show it off. It's a hilarious image, and he sent it to me on Facebook, and I told him that I'd show it on yesterday's stream, but I just got so excited with all the St. Patrick's Day, shillelaghs and Irish folklore and all the, I'm going to start talking like I'm fucking Irish again. Anyway, let me get this image, and let me see, where is it? Oh, you know what? I know where it is. It's under a different email. There we go. All right. I just wanted to say thank you so much while I'm waiting for this image, and thank you all for being here and supporting the channel. Do y'all want to plug your stuff while I'm looking for this this image?
Yeah. Well, I have my show, Who Made Ages Media Musing. I do shows on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And you check that out. I read stories near the end of the show. I'll go over movie trivia. Yeah, maybe sometimes a little bit of news. I'm kind of toying with maybe adding a new segment of playing some old radio broadcasts. I have to figure out a little bit more about that before I get into it.
Yeah, that's really fun. I'll show you how to get how to figure out which ones you can show and which ones you can't.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, so it's easy, but I'll show you the website.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get you there, and we'll get you popping out those radio programs.
Yeah. Yeah,
There we go.
I was just oh, you found it.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
found it. But
Okay.
go ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead.
I was just thinking maybe just uploading the video to YouTube and see what the your checker said, and if it dings it, then I'll just take it down.
No,
Just keep
no,
it
no,
private.
no, no. I got a much easier way.
Oh, you've got
Uh,
go. Okay, good.
yeah, so I'll get with me on X after the show,
All right.
and I'll send you the link and show you how to use it and everything. File 13. Before we get to this image, what do you got going on, sir?
You know what? I got a bunch of movies stacked up that I'm just ready to watch. So I'm going to be doing some movie streams. I got some games that I picked up on Steam. So I'm going to be doing more gaming, and I'm going to start back every morning. I used to release like news that's going on with entertainment and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to start doing that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to start just vamping up my channel. That's it.
Nice. Sounds good. All right. Well, this is Tim the Enchanter. This is the image that he sent. Is such a funny image. Just the look on his face, getting pissed drunk with a green beer. That's the way that all St. Patrick's days should be going. And this is actually you, right? I love the hat. I was trying to find a hat to wear, like a little leprechaun hat to wear yesterday, but couldn't find one, so I just put on me green sunglasses, which I still got on because I love green. I love the color green. I love gold. No. All right. Thank you so much for sending that. I love that. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Y'all see it pretty good?
Yeah,
Y'all see it?
yeah, we can see it.
Okay.
The
All right. Yeah, I can't seem to
green.
make. Oh, you know what? Because I know why I can't see it. Because I'm not. I'm trying to do it from the actual StreamYard and not the fucking. Not the fucking thingamajigger. Where is the thing? Oh well. Anyway. Yeah. So we'll. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll just go ahead and get started. I can't figure out how to do that right now. How to make it bigger. Thank you so much. And we'll finish out with Gunner. Congratulations, Casey's Creepy Creations on the 100 subs. And it's not. I found it doing a quick Google search. Okay, so it's not actually you. Okay,
Okay.
it's hilarious though. I wish I had one of those hats for St. Patrick's Day. And Casey's Creepy Creations at File 13. Thank you for the sub. Yeah, that's right. We're gonna get you to 200, and you're just gonna fucking skyrocket past all of us, man. You got it going on. So thank you so much for being here. And let's go ahead and get started, kind of going over, I guess, the Travis Walton story. Y'all want to go ahead and start with that?
Sure.
All right.
You want to start your
or
stuff?
actually, you know what? I gotta do this because
You're welcome, bud.
everybody has been so kind already. Casey, you've been so generous. Here's Troy. This is Max's little brother. He majored in finance, so he actually has a pretty good way to go. He does money very well. So we're going to celebrate with a little kitty cat that loves to thank you for the donations. All right, everybody. I'm going to turn this music down a little bit. There we go. All right. Now we can go ahead and present the Travis Walton. This is one of the newest interviews that I've found on his dealings and his story. It's on the Minds production or Open Minds TV. So we're going to give it a little watch and see what he has to say, and then we'll get into our discoveries and thoughts about who he is and what he claims to be, and what we actually found out about him. So let's go ahead and share the screen, and there we go. And here we go.
Cool to talk to these guys after so much time. It's kind of cool to talk to these guys after so much time.
So he's talking about talking to the people that
Because, even right after
apparently
it happened,
passed
I didn't really talk at all with him
the
that
lie
much,
detector test.
Job fell apart and everybody went their separate ways. But their perspective on things is something I've never even had a chance to talk to them after all this time. And like the two of them being here today, they haven't even seen each other for 30 years.
The Travis Walton abduction story has been told countless times through film, print, and his own presentations.
So I don't know if y'all have actually seen the movie Fire in the Sky. Regardless what you think of the guy, it's a pretty good movie actually. To make it bigger, there are pills for that, I hear. Yeah, I try to steer clear from that because I hear there's adverse reactions. So yeah. But yeah, the movie is actually pretty damn good. The aliens in there are pretty terrifying. They don't show them for very long. It's more of a tension builder, and then you finally see them at the end. And it's a pretty well made movie for its time, especially. I remember it being very popular when I was in middle school. And it was
aliens in general were pretty popular at the time.
Yeah, exactly. It was the conessential. Is that a word?
It's a word now.
Yeah, it's a word now. The fucking word I'm thinking of. Quintessential. That's it. The quintessential alien abduction movie, especially from the 90s. So this is the movie that kind of really started off the craze for Independence Day and those type of abduction movies and stuff like that. So this is him talking about this. I believe this is probably within the past 4 or 5 years.
The story has captivated an entire community of researchers and UFO enthusiasts.
With a large accumulation of other bits of information, that it is time to just take a fresh look at it and try to make sense of it in terms of all the new information. I think people are ready for a different perspective on this.
That different perspective is now being told for the first time by 2 of the 5 other crew members present with Walton.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I have heard. I'm not going to say what I know because, it's just what I've heard in the past. I've heard these interviews. As far as I knew, Travis Walton was one of the, just like you blew my mind with Bob Lazar, I have a feeling you're about to do that with Travis Walton too. But, there was a lot of, controversy as to what happened to him. There was apparently 5 other people that were, 5 other people, because he was the 6th. There were 5 other people that saw him go towards the apparent spacecraft and get just vanish basically after the beam of light came down. And from what I've heard, they were given polygraph tests 3 times, I believe. I think no, 2. I know it was more than 1.
They did polygraph tests on the men, and then they had separate polygraph tests with Bob Lazar or Walton after.
But I know they did it at least twice because there were 2 inconclusives. So
1 inconclusive.
Oh, it was just 1? Okay. Well, thank you for correcting me. But I know they had to redo that. I thought I remember that they redid everyone just to make sure that the story was still straight as far as
I didn't see anything about them retaking any polygraph tests.
We'll
get into more about that later.
Okay. but they all of them came back as they were telling the truth. They were all telling the same story except one that came back inconclusive apparently. and I believe he had to take a retest. I thought that it came back positive.
The only one I heard about taking retest was Travis Walton himself.
Oh, okay. Well, that see, but I mean, I'm also trying to give him excuses now too. So I'm just being blatant with that. I'm not trying to hide it. But when you're going through a stressful situation, like given that this might have happened, just a possibility, just for the sake of argument, a hypothetical. If this did happen, you would be very stressed out, and all of the information and all of the dealings that ended up happening could be mistaken in a polygraph test. I always hear that polygraphs aren't even admissible in court because
No,
they're so
I've got a little bit on that too. But on one other thing that probably worth pointing out is that all the polygraph tests were voluntary.
Yeah, exactly. That was another good. Thank you for reminding me. They came clean. Like they were like, no, give us a polygraph test. We know what we saw. Like we have nothing to hide, because they were under investigation. They were all going to go to jail because everybody, especially the police department, thought that they did something to Travis and was threatening him. When he came back and told his side of the story, they were still on those other people's asses trying to put them in jail because they were with him, and they thought the police department thought that they might be threatening him behind the scenes. They had some dirt on him or something like that. This is all hearsay though, and this is all in a hypothetical that this might have, in a world where this did happen, because we don't know for sure, and I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of evidence to tell me that I've been wrong all these years. So we'll get to that, but I do want to say hello to Suzanne. Thank you for stopping by. I didn't know if you were here earlier. Somebody said hi to you. How you doing, Mama? It's great to see you. And Cinema Gold, Ben, hail to you, sir. If you want to join the panel, you're more than welcome to, and talk about this story. And I know you've seen the movie, and I've been wanting to have you on my stream for a while. So we're missing one of our Ghostbusters today. So if you would like a link, I can send you one. Just let me know. Fire in the Sky is still to this day one of the most horrifying recounts of alien abduction ever. I completely agree. The tension that builds up in that movie is so well done. It feels so real, and the actors in it, Robert Patrick, the T-1000, he was in it, and he was great. He actually kind of stole the show for me just because he was a T-1000. And I think I saw that movie first. So,
regardless of what you think of the actual account, it was a good movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I enjoyed the movie, and I could still enjoy the movie today. Separating the art from the artist again, even though Travis Walton is no artist.
It was somebody else who just took his story and worked it. And
yeah, exactly. All right. Hello, David Forrester. Thank you so much for stopping by. You're a new member. You just what do you call it? Not just subscribed, but you became a member. You're a green sleeve, I think is what Stark calls it. So you're a green sleeve now, and I appreciate that so much. So thank you for stopping by. Lemon Pie, the fruitcake, what's up? Good evening, y'all. Casey's Creepy Creations again. Hey, brother. Thank you, File 13, for saying hi to everybody and welcoming them and being a good wrench, sir. I gave you the power, and you are taking it with some gusto. So I appreciate that, sir. Lemon Pie, Casey, yeah, Cinema Gulp has an amazing channel. We're going to be doing a team up pretty soon. So yeah. Anyway, let's get to finishing this. And Cinema Gulp, if you have time and you want to join the panel and talk about this and the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. We are short a member of our gang, of our Ghostbuster group right now, so I can send that to you during this while we play this video.
At the recent 2012 International UFO Conference, John Goulet and Steve Pierce, whose own lifelong ordeals began the second they witnessed that mysterious light, told their perspective on what they saw from the truck that fateful evening.
We seen it through some trees, and then when we got closer, we got right in front of it, and that's when Mike stopped and Travis got out. He was just hovering in the air, not moving, and all of a sudden it started rocking back and forth, and it started going beep, 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 and then there was a high-pitched noise.
It seemed like slow motion to me, but, you know, if you've been in a vehicle wreck or something, or in a combat situation, a lot of times it will seem like it's slow motion when it's really not.
A blue screen light came out and zapped him and hit him in the chest, and he doubles up like this, and he's flying in the air about 20 feet. As soon as he lands, I said, it got him. And as soon as I said it got him, we took off.
We all got out and we were arguing about going back or going to get help. Like out of the corner of my eye, I saw a flash through the treetops. I guess that's when he decided, well, you know, let's go back. I'll never understand why, you know, but he was running up there, you know. I was afraid for him and for us, what he was going to cause us. And, you know, and what was going to happen to him.
3 years ago now, I fell and broke my neck, and so when I was home, I had nothing to do, and I got the movie, and we watched the movie, and I told my daughter, this is me, you know. Well, she said, well, if it's you, how come they're not using your name? So that's when I got in touch with Travis.
There's so many great, wonderful.
That is weird. I didn't know that they didn't use the actual names of the people, especially if they wanted to be used. I don't know. That's kind of weird to me. I would think that they would want to be as realistic as possible.
They took a lot of liberties in how the story went in the movie.
That's true. There are some that even go against the official story. So yeah.
Things out in this world. I've seen so many things, you know, and I did not let that become the priority in my life, you know. Like I said, I took it away, I put it behind me, you know, ignored it, and I'm glad I did.
This incident has impacted the lives of many people in countless ways. John and Steve have spent years running away and removing it from thought. Now these two men are coming forward to tell their part of this story.
When we got to Heber,
all right, let's hear the bullshit.
Department came out there, and he thought we told him the story, and he thought we were all.
Yeah, I did freeze. I had to restart my camera.
The next morning, they got this posse, and they were going to go look for him.
They got some pussy? And, good for them.
The cops are at my front door talking to my mom and telling my mom, they said, well, we think this Travis is dead. They killed him. He's out there somewhere, and we're going to find him. So I grabbed my boots, and out the back door I went. I hid. I was gone. They couldn't find me. I went to a girlfriend's house, and while I was there hiding, her mom came home, and I was in her bedroom, and her mom was telling her, you know, you can't see Steve no more. They think they killed Travis. I mean, everybody in that town thought we murdered him.
When I went out to help search for Travis, they split us up into groups, you know, individuals.
Yeah, so they thought that they all ganged up and murdered Travis because he was gone for 5 days? Was that it? I believe it was 5 days, 5 or 6 days.
A week.
It was a whole week?
It was a whole week, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, yeah. Fuck me sideways, sir. You got me again. All my information, I guess, is a little skewed. I'm just a little bit off. You know, I got a little. I'm close. Before we get into the rest of the story, is there anything y'all would like to add at this point about them being accused of murder and anything like that.
I've got some stuff on
You
how
want,
they're on
do you
that.
want to watch the video first and then
Yeah,
go over just
go
everything?
through. Just go over the video. Go over what you got, and then I'll go over what I got.
Okay. Well, I also have a video about the first interview with them, because I'm trying to see if this interview with these two people, if there's anything significantly different with the original interview back in 1975, I believe. So
From what I was reading, they've actually managed to maintain consistency in their
see,
story.
exactly. That's what always made me think that this was a legit. Well, maybe not legitimate, but it was plausible. You know what I mean? So I always had a belief that it was a possibility. I'm of the mindset now that I don't actually believe in aliens the way that we think about them. I believe I have a completely different thought process on that, just from my
Yeah, I have some issues with the way we describe aliens here, but
yeah. Well, I
well,
mean,
maybe if they get into talking about what they saw there, maybe I'll just talk about that at that point.
well, I'm just gonna say this. My belief in aliens is biased because of my religion, because of Christianity. I believe that if there is anything out there, it's demonic. You know,
I don't think it would be demonic, but
I mean, if they're creatures not of man, then they would have, in my belief of Christianity from the Bible, they would have to be fallen angels and demons. So that's my belief. But I completely understand that, you know, others aren't going to hold the same belief. I'm just throwing all my cards on the table. You know what I mean?
If they get into talking about what he saw in here, I'll get into my thoughts on that.
Okay, cool. I just want to throw all the cards on the table so y'all know where I stand with aliens. You know, I believe that there might be the possibility of these creatures, but I wouldn't call them unidentified. I would call them demons, because I would call them identified demons. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll finish.
Individuals, you know, each person was with a different group, and I believe each group had a deputy sheriff with them. And the whole time I'm out there trying to find Travis, that deputy has just kept asking me, you know, won't you tell us where the body is, you know, and we can all go home, you know, because, you know, we know you did this, you know. And it was no UFO. The law enforcement was just trying to get us to own up to something we hadn't done.
I mean, how stupid. I mean, when you go to a police department and you're telling them that a fucking alien spaceship just abducted my friend. I mean, especially back then. I think a lot more people are prone to believe it these days, but back then, yeah, you tell them something like that, they're gonna say, okay, you're fucking making that shit up. You fucking murdered him. You're gonna go to jail, or you're gonna go to a loony bin if you actually do believe that. So, yeah, I mean, it's just
the sheriff never believed their story, but they did have, but it was pretty big at the time. UFOs and stuff was really huge at the time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because Roswell was just 15 years before that, 1947. So it was like 25 years actually. But still, it was in that time period where UFOs were they were Area 51 and all that shit. So it was a big thing, especially when Roswell hit. There was just a UFO craze. So this story really, it took off.
This was just the beginning for the remaining eyewitnesses. Local law enforcement wanted to subject them to a polygraph test.
They asked us questions if we killed Travis, or if I knew anybody who did bodily harm to him, if I killed Travis, or they asked us if we actually seen a UFO. I think they were trying to trick us. Because they still, even when we passed it, I don't believe they believed it.
Even after passing the polygraph test,
I mean, I think this is a pretty redundant question, but would you believe if you were a police officer, a detective, and this happened, this event happened, and they came to you, MageGrayWolf, or you, File 13, and said, yeah, my friend was abducted. We didn't have anything to do with it. What would y'all think?
I certainly wouldn't believe that story, but I would still file it under trying to find a missing person.
Yeah. Yeah. But would you
Basically exactly what they did.
would you automatically just assume that it was them though? Or like, cause they came out saying we saw him get taken into a ship. So their stories are all basically saying we know what happened to him. It's not like he's a missing person in their minds.
Yeah, I might be thinking they made that story up for some reason. That might bring some suspicion on them.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, File 13?
And as far as the situation, I got to look at the police report to really dig into it because it's more the way that I would do it. But of course, the 24 hours thing, yeah. But those guys are lying anyways. If you look at the interview, but we'll get into that later.
Okay.
You can actually see where actually one is it. The only time that guy told the truth on that whole entire interview is when he said that he broke his back. That was the only time he told the truth in that interview. Well, besides that, he didn't tell anything that was true.
Well, my question is, if you were the lead detective on this case, and especially back then, and they came to you saying that their friend isn't just missing, they were abducted by aliens.
That wouldn't matter. The aliens thing wouldn't matter one bit. That would be considered a missing persons case.
Oh, okay.
So it would actually be annotated because if they actually have a missing persons, you got 4 people coming. So this is missing persons. So they would have. So did they go to the scene? Was the scene blocked off? Was there a vehicle? Where was the last place? Was it raining? There's a lot of questions you have to ask about the whole entire situation.
So you're you would be a real detective about it. You wouldn't just automatically assume that they had something to do with it. You would do some detective work.
Well, there's nothing. There's nothing. You can't assume that they did something.
But they did. The detectives on this case from the very beginning, they even came. Again, I could be wrong, but I remember an interview with the police officers saying that they didn't believe him from the get-go. They thought that they murdered him and that it was all on them. Like from the very beginning, as soon as they came in and reported him missing, they were automatically suspect number 1 through 5 or whatever. So anyway, I just I think that's really cool that you would take such a hardcore police stance. But I guess I understand that. So hail to you, Penny. Thank you so much for stopping by. The grandkids are gone and you're exhausted. I understand. I hope you're having a great night though, and getting to chill out and rest a little bit.
Lives of these men have continually been, even after passing the polygraph test, the lives of these men have continually been harassed.
When I left that area, it was because of the accusations and the doubt, on people accusing us. First it was murder, then it was a hoax.
In the aftermath of this, people were just desperate to explain away any way they could, and they just launched theory after theory. First, thing right off the bat, the knee-jerk thing was, well, these guys are drunk or high on drugs.
Newspapers were just attacking me everywhere I went. Even at the hospital, they were there. They wouldn't leave me alone.
Newspaper and television reporters continually sought them out and made their lives difficult, while UFO skeptic Philip Klass persistently pressured Steve.
I just got married, and the cop came to the door and said, I'll give you Philip's Klass said he'd give you $10,000 if you say it's a hoax, So he left. I just blew it off, didn't think much of it. I packed up the family and moved to Texas. And a few months later,
don't mess with Texas.
Phil Klass is on the phone, finding me in Texas, and I'll give you $10,000 if you say it's a hoax. And he bugged me for a while, and I moved to another state, and he bugged me for a while, and he bugged me for like 3 years after it happened, and trying to give me $10,000 to say it was a hoax.
True to his conviction, Steve never wavered or took the money, and eventually Klass left him alone.
If something like this happens to you, of course it's an important event in your life.
I got involved back in it because of my daughter, because she's really a believer.
For over 36 years, Travis Walton has shared his story while battling skeptics and submitting himself to multiple lie detector tests, and still his story has remained consistent and true. Now, with additional eyewitness testimony to back up his claim,
they said it. It's true. So everything, all the research you did, throw it out. They already said it's true.
They're hyping this up way more than it actually is.
Case closed. They already said it's real. It happened. I'm just kidding. Cinema Gulp. Yeah. Thank you so much. I understand you're working late. Yeah, no problem. We can figure out another day to work together. So thank you so much for being here, and hope you're having a great day working. Well, I mean, it's kind of, I'm sorry. It sucks to work, but, hope you're having as good a day as possible. God bless.
his amazing ordeal will hopefully be seen with less skepticism and his journey for the truth appreciated.
You know, Mike and Travis showed a lot of courage to stand up there all those years and just keep telling the truth over and over again, even though a lot of people doubted it.
All right, and that was the newest interview. We also have the old interview. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but
they were brownish orange.
I do want to hear his description of the aliens.
The top edge of the thing that was laying across me, and I saw two men leaning over me. They were.
Okay, never mind.
It was sort of a flat thing that kind of curved across like that, and I couldn't focus my eyes very well, but I looked beyond the top edge of the thing that was laying across me, and I saw two men leaning over me. They weren't really men. They were a lot like
they were demons.
They were a lot like men, but they weren't quite human.
What did they physically look like?
They were they had kind of underdeveloped features and no hair of any kind, and they were dressed in kind of a brownish orange.
How tall were they?
They were slightly shorter than myself.
What type of clothing was they dressed?
It was sort of a loose cover-off. I didn't see any buttons or anything like that. But being in so much pain and everything, I didn't even think. I just lashed out and knocked them back. I could see that there was two on the right side and one on the left. I jumped into the corner.
Did you actually strike them? Did you actually touch them when you lashed out?
Yes, I did. I kind of hit these two with the back of my arm, and they fell back real easily.
Did you feel like hitting a person would?
Yes. They seemed light, like they weren't heavy, but I couldn't stand up very well. I leaned against, there was a bench across the back wall. I say the back wall, I mean, there was only one door. And I grabbed up a tube, a clear piece of glass or something, and I tried to break off the end to get something sharp to defend myself with, but they didn't try to approach. They just kind of put out their hands like that, and
put up their hands like that.
I was leaning up. I couldn't stand up very well. I was breathing very heavily. And they didn't try to approach or anything. They just left. They just ran out real fast. And I was alone there for several minutes, and I couldn't catch my breath. It was very hot. And I was afraid they'd come back. And so I left. They'd gone, there was a corridor outside, and they went to the right, and I went to the left.
You went through the door?
Yeah, there was no door. It was just a hole, a doorway.
An open?
And it was a curving hallway it curved to the right. There was another door with no doorway. It was just a hole. And I went into a room there, and
Had you gone very far distance at that point?
it was only about 30 feet or 40 feet. I don't know. Not very far. No, not even that far. I don't remember. It was a very narrow corridor, and it was dimly lit everywhere. And I went into this room that you could see out. It was, you could even see the stars back through the wall I just came through. It was, I could still see that there was a wall.
I want to pause it right there because I watched this before, and this part right here where he says that he could see the stars through the ship. That's the exact same thing that Bob Lazar said too. So maybe Bob Lazar got that part from this encounter.
Maybe.
You know, because I thought that was really interesting that he said I went into this room that you could see out of it. You could even see the stars back through the wall I just came through. So basically he's saying that he could see space, he could see the stars. He probably wasn't actually in outer space. He was I'm playing the the person that believes the shit, right now, because y'all are obviously on Team Skeptic. Y'all have your information stuff. So I gotta be, I just for fuck's sake, I gotta be
Devil's advocate.
That devil's advocate. That's the phrase that I'm going for, sir. Thank you so much. I always go into a fucking Irish accent now after yesterday. I can't fucking stop it.
It gets stuck.
I need to fucking bang my head until I stop going into the Irish, but I'm fucking Irish, so what can I say? But anyway, I thought that was really interesting that he has that same little tidbit of information that he throws out there. I thought that was really cool.
It was, I could still see that there was walls, but I could see the stars at the same time.
And it didn't look like windows?
No, it wasn't like that. And there was nothing in the room but a chair with some controls and knobs and things.
I got a knob for you.
I was hysterical. I was frantic, and I just moved around in there for a while, and I started fooling with the buttons there.
Did you sit in the chair?
And I did later. First I just touched it. I didn't think I should be.
What's that?
Giggity.
Yeah, giggity.
I
did touch it, yeah.
And that somebody would come.
Somebody would come.
I heard somebody come in.
You heard somebody coming.
It was a man, just like people. I mean, he wasn't like the other creatures or whatever at all. He looked just like you and I.
I'm sorry, Penny. I'll watch my language. I apologize, sir. I mean, ma'am. I'm so sorry. I got the Irish, and I always say sir when I'm talking in the Irish accent. So I apologize for that, ma'am, lassie.
Except he had a helmet on, a sort of a clear helmet.
And he got hair and everything?
Yes. I started babbling questions to him. I ran over there, and he wouldn't.
Hail to Buckethead, formerly known as Jeff Daniels. I didn't see you come in. Thank you so much for being here and supporting the channel. Sorry to stop the thing.
Answer me. He just took me on over there, and he wouldn't answer me. He just took me by the arm and wanted me to go with him. I thought maybe he can't hear me through the helmet. So we went out to the door.
I'm
down
sorry,
to the
Jeff.
right and out to the left. There was a small room there that had doors on it, and it was kind of like an airlock thing. It was just a small room with nothing in it. And then there was a door that went outside, and there was a ramp that went down, and it was cool outside. I could feel wind. There was a draft or something. It was a large room.
So that makes me think that he was in some kind of if the story's true, again, I'm playing devil's advocate. If he was in some kind of craft, even if it wasn't a UFO or whatever they call them these days, UAI or STDs, whatever.
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
Yeah, there you go.
Which makes sense to do, considering not all of the things that reported as UFOs are actually objects.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yes, but he's saying that it was cold, it was cool. So I would assume that if this did happen, then they weren't in outer space, obviously. Because he would be feeling the air, like he would be feeling the coldness from the atmosphere. So he was probably in one of the lower layers of the Earth's atmosphere. So that's my guess. If this did happen, if in a world where this did happen, hypothetically, devil's advocate style. I'm just gonna go until he gets back to Earth, and it's coming right up.
It was sitting on the floor in there, and it was shaped like the drawing that they made, like the thing we saw the first time, only bigger. And there was two other things in there, other UFO-looking things that looked like flying saucers, kind of, except they were rounded, an oval shape, and they're really shiny like chrome. It was a big room, like there was a lot more room in there, and there was a curved ceiling that curved this way, and it had flat ends to the room. I came out of the door, out of that first ship, facing this way, and there was a doorway across in the far wall. He led me across there, and through that doorway down a hallway to a room, and I'd had a burning in my chest, and it was starting. I felt better. I was trying to get this man to tell me what I asked him if he was from Earth, and just anything I could think of, and he wouldn't answer.
Was he expressionless? Did he have any expression?
No, he looked friendly. He gestured and smiled, but there was no words.
In this place that you were in, could you see out at all?
No, there was no way out there.
So you were going from one ship to another, was that essentially it?
Yeah. This must have been inside of a larger building or ship. I don't know if it was a large ship or a building. There was no way. I never felt any motion or anything. It was just like being in a large building all the time. Everything was solid. I was led down the hallway. The man sat me in a chair and in a room with 3 other people that were like himself. They were dressed in blue. And he went out. There was a door on the other side, and he went on through. And I sat in the chair, and I tried to get the people to talk to me that were there, and they didn't have things on their head, and so I thought that maybe they could hear me, but they wouldn't answer either. There was 2 men and a woman in the room after the first man left. A man and a woman came from around the table, and they each took me by the arm. They led me over to the table and got me up on the table. And I don't know why I should cooperate with them, but they put a deal over my face. It was kind of like an oxygen mask thing. It was kind of clear plastic, and it had a round black thing on it about that big, just attached to it. And I looked up at the ceiling, which was just, it was all solid light. There wasn't any light fixture or anything. The light in the room just came from the ceiling. And that was last I remembered. I went to sleep until I woke up. I was laying on the pavement. It was very cold. I woke up very suddenly, and I looked up the roadway. I was laying outside it. It was night, and I could see a light on the bottom of a flying saucer that looked just like the rounded ones that were inside there. And it was very shiny, but the only light came out of the bottom, but then that went off, and it just went straight up really fast, just without a sound.
That's it. So that's his story, and he's been sticking to it for the past 50 years? Yeah, 50 fucking years. He's been sticking to this same story. So now we're gonna get into the actual research that Mage and the I don't know if it's opinions or actual knowledge that File 13 may have, or what is what he might have to say. But I'm I've done the research from the believers side, and MageGrayWolf did the opposite. So he's the skeptic of the group. So he does his. I got to tell you one thing, everybody. MageGrayWolf is sorry, Penny, a freaking legend. He does so much research, and he puts so much effort into these skeptic stories, skeptical stories, paranormal, supernatural, sci-fi, fantasy, all the stuff that we do. He puts so much work into it, and I really want to give you a thumbs up, double thumbs up, man. You are a fucking a freaking legend, and I appreciate all the time and effort you put into this, because it wouldn't be the same without having your side of it. So yeah, thank you. And go ahead and start.
Well, the thing is, the first thing that really raises alarm bells is the description of the aliens being very human, and especially the second one that he encounters. That would be almost it's very unlikely to actually occur or have that kind of evolution take place on another planet.
Why is that? I mean, I know that we're in what they call the Goldilocks zone. So as far as Earth is concerned, where it is astronomically the odds of being in a zone that we are in to have life grow is so minuscule. And
Actually, no. The chances of life on another planet is actually pretty.
Well, I'm saying intelligent life.
Well, even with an intelligent life, if you can still get pretty good odds. I mean, I remember a few decades back, he came across somebody who was trying to argue that it was impossible to have life on another planet, and they gave this huge big odd. And I just kind of went through and found a bunch of just kind of estimates on planets and stuff to kind of plug into the Drake equation with his estimate of how unlikely life is. And I still ended up with something like 3 or 4 or planets that would have technologically advanced life. not just life in general, but just technologically advanced life came up. So you can still get that. So there's probably something out there, but it being humanoid, that's actually quite unlikely because
why?
Because of how things would evolve.
But that, I mean, if the odds are so, if the odds aren't as minuscule as I've heard people say, then why aren't the odds that they would be humanoid?
The environments would be drastically different.
How do you know?
Well, we know from just looking at every planet we've looked at has almost
we've never encountered another intelligent species that isn't humanoid, that doesn't require oxygen.
Well, even if we rolled the clock back on this planet and redid things and they're able to end up with a technologically advanced life like us, it'd still be very different.
Well, I mean, yeah, there would be slight differences, but I'm just saying, if you're saying that life, intelligent life, especially, is more probable than I give it credit for, then you would have to agree that it's not out of the question that they would look like us.
No, I wouldn't say that it's out of the question that they would be a human form. I'm saying it'd be very unlikely.
Well, we don't,
and it wouldn't look exactly like us, almost like what he was describing there.
Well,
but I do find there is another actually hypothesis, or I'm not theory hypothesis. I'm not really sure.
Hold on, can you hold on real quick? Sure. BOTE Chris, I would have asked when you woke up, did your butt hurt? Because it's either a probe or Roger the alien. That's a good one. Yeah, thank you so much for that. And Penny, I couldn't agree more. Penny, God made us that way on purpose. Penny is with me all the way. When it comes to aliens, let me know what you think, Penny. I don't believe that they are aliens in the sense that they're unidentified. I actually believe that if there is extraterrestrial life out there, it is demonic. It's fallen angels, rather, because we are made in God's image, and as far as we know, we're the only, we're made in His image, and we're the only ones made in His image. So that's my belief, though. I'm not gonna, I'm just
you're a monkey, mate. But anyway, there's another.
Well, yeah, but that's the way that it happened. That's not the way that it was created, though. That was the process that's got us to be, where we are right now in this. But
that's exactly what I'm getting at.
I'm not an early Earth believer. I believe that evolution is the process that got us to this point.
But that's exactly I'm getting. But if you were to roll that clock back, that can re-roll evolution, you get a different outcome.
See, but that's why that's what I'm saying. I believe in the Goldilocks zone. I believe that it's a lot more minuscule of a chance that would happen.
Well, even if it's in the Goldilocks zone, you're going to still have a very different environment than what we have. I mean, the oxygen we have.
Yeah, but I'm saying
this is from other life forms that generate this oxygen that we breathe, and then we just adapted to that oxygen.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that I've never seen another planets with the Goldilocks zone, and I believe that it's until we actually see something like that. The people the scientists that I've heard say that the odds of us being in the exact right place, just a little bit off, and we wouldn't be able to survive.
Actually we have quite a bit. We actually do have quite a bit of wiggle room. That's actually not correct. But anyway, there's actually another argument that. For these extraterrestrials, those called ultra-terrestrials. Well, and this argument is basically that these aren't from another planet, but rather from another reality of Earth. And that,
See,
that would be a better explanation as to why they would be more humanoid. So I could I could get behind that, but that's again, we can save that for another show, Maps.
Yeah, we can get into like
anyway,
2001: A Space Odyssey, Star Child type of. That would be cool to get into. Yes, I do see you, Jedi Master 2022. I was just getting into a little debate on just a fun little thought experiment. So I agree. God made the heavens. That's what I believe.
Well, at any rate, getting into what I've got here for
Travis. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
Well, as I mentioned, Travis Walton, who's a forestry worker who claimed him to have been abducted by aliens on November 5th, 1975, leaving the Apache Stigreaves National Forest. The abduction was claimed him to have been witnessed by 6 of his co-workers. All 6 witnesses of the abduction took polygraph tests, as we heard them say, to determine if they had killed Travis. Not about the UFOs. All but one passed, and that one that didn't was inconclusive. So it was not that he failed.
Yeah.
According to their story, they had spotted a lighted object hovering above the ground near the road. Once they stopped, Travis got out of the truck and ran to the object, as we heard in the video. Then he observed a ray of bluish light coming from the hovering object shining on Travis. The men, frightened, drove off. 15 minutes later, they came back, and Travis and the object were gone. The logging crew, who at 7:45 p.m. contacted the sheriff's department. I don't know when I couldn't find mention as to when the supposed abduction took place, so I don't know how much time passed between the two. Contacted the sheriff's department and searched for Travis. And the search for Travis began. Deputy Copeland reported that when he contacted Travis's mother, and she stated, "Well, that's the way these things happen," and said that he was shocked at how calm she was. In fact, he went on about contact.
She was talking about her son missing, and she was saying that's just how these things happen.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
And in fact, when he contacted the rest of the family, just about everybody acted the same way, being rather calm about his disappearance.
Could the calmness be maybe, I mean, again, this is me being devil's advocate. This is just, I don't actually believe this. I'm just throwing it out there because it's just a thought. But could the calmness be what people associated with the way that they were behaving, and really they were just so nervous that it just came off?
I don't think so. There's more to the way the mother, grandmother.
All right. Like I said, I don't believe that, but I just wanted to throw it out there. Just
according to news reports, the sheriff had said Travis, his brother Dwayne, and his mother were all longtime students of UFOs, so they knew quite a bit about UFOs. Those in the stories previously.
That's interesting. Okay.
2 days later, the search had grown into have nearly 50 people looking for Travis. His mother, by this time, had stated, "I don't think there's any use for looking any further. He's just not around here. Or I don't think he's on this earth." It's a weird statement to make. After only 2 days.
It's not a weird statement to make if all the people that were around had the same story, that he was abducted. And I think that there should be more worry coming from the mother. But the comments, again, playing devil's advocate, just playing devil's advocate. But her saying, "I don't think that he's on this earth," that could just mean that she believes the 5 people that were his friends.
6 people.
Well, I thought he was the 6th.
No, there was 6 people, and then he was.
Oh, he was 7. Okay,
yeah,
my bad. Again, one off, just one off. It's all right.
Right.
I can get away. Just one. Everybody gets one, like Spider-Man says.
On the 8th, the forestry contract that the loggers were under was so behind schedule due to Travis's disappearance that it could no longer be fulfilled, which would normally dock the workers 10%. But these contracts have an act of God clause, which could be met with Travis's disappearance. given and how much work still needed to be done, and if Travis hadn't gone missing, there's a good chance he and his coworkers would have been docked up to 10% in their pay. So we got motive.
Well,
Travis,
then why didn't that guy take the $10,000 then? You know?
Well, there's other things going on besides
Okay.
that.
All right.
Travis's mother, almost all throughout the time he was missing, and kept requesting and they stopped looking for him. A week later, shortly after midnight, since Travis went missing, Travis placed a collect call to his sister from a payphone in Haber, 12 miles from where he was reported to have disappeared. The National Enquirer had reported on the polygraph tests, but left out that the tests Travis took, again, the test concluded that Travis was grossly deceptive. By the way, he was actually attempting to actively fool the machine by rubbing his leg and doing other things. Travis kept trying to use his tricks, things like running his leg to throw off the test results. Of course, after all, which is also kind of get back to where he had to do where he did a retake of the test. Of course, after all that this came in quite a bit of fame. Here's where you might not want to take the $10,000. Travis tended to avoid skeptics and favored venues that would be more accepting of taking his claim into seeing UFOs at face value. I do mean in this in the plural, too. Apparently, before and after the event, Travis saw UFOs all the time.
He claims to have seen UFOs all the time. That's what you said?
He's always claiming to see
Okay.
He's always claiming to see UFOs.
Okay.
And this goes in before he had this abduction thing.
Yeah.
Due to the hype at the time, Travis's story led to the movie called Fire in the Sky, which we all know about. The Enquirer offered a $50,000 prize, which doubled by 1975, so it's $100,000. By the year Travis is just.
And that's a lot of money in 1975.
This is an offer for anyone who could prove the existence of UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he actually got the money or not. Having given National Enquirer, but he did give National Enquirer exclusive access to his story in exchange for a suite in Scottsdale. Now, I put a few bulletin points of things that stood out as red flags to me here. Most of his family seemed to be unbothered by his disappearance, and his mother repeatedly wanting to call off the search. Travis and his co-worker had profit motive for something like a disappearance to occur, the 10%, plus the fame they get, plus little amenities from their exclusive thing, and hey, they're still cashing in on that fame today.
Yep.
He was knowledgeable of UFO stories, which would make it easy for him to concoct such a story and remain inconsistent with it. And snuggling up to outlets that would press him too hard about his story and give the National Enquirer exclusive access is an outlet offering cash for proof of UFOs. It was making it easier to keep the story and keep the story and another profit motive. If I left out something on here also that this wouldn't be the first time he tried to defraud the logging company either. He broke into the office with a co-worker, and they tried to forge fraudulent checks, bogus checks, or paychecks.
Yeah, that's not good, but
which happened before this whole mess.
Yeah. All right. I mean, that's a very good summary of what could happen. I brought up some points that could be countered, but
I'd like to hear what File 13 has.
I was hoping that he would have something to say. So File 13, let's hear a rant, man. I want to hear it.
So I don't talk about religion and that stuff. I keep that off because that's just a subject I avoid completely.
That's cool. I don't. Yeah.
Because you can get into some discussions when it comes to religion.
Yeah, I mean, I keep it open though. So y'all are, I'm, y'all are gonna hear me talk about it, but I respect that.
So the only thing I have to say is that they never asked them if they were abducted by UFOs, because you have to remember, even you guys said it, the detectives, this was a missing persons, and then it moved into a homicide case. So the Inquirer misinterpreted or misled people, stating that they did. But if you look at it, they never asked them any questions. They only asked them 4 questions, if I remember correctly. I was kind of doing
For the lie detector test?
Yeah, they only asked them. If I remember, it's like 4 questions or something, and at no time were one of those questions were, "Did you see a UFO?"
Oh,
Yeah,
so
wow.
so even then,
Yeah,
they just asked murder questions.
Yeah,
Now,
they're asking him about murder, not UFO.
If you look at-
Oh, wow, that changes the game. Yeah.
if you look
okay.
at the interview that you showed us too,
Yeah.
I just watch and kind of listen and look at body movement and stuff like that. All of them were lying except one time. Now, if you look at the clip, he was talking about when you're
the newer one or the
the newer clip. The
yeah.
old one, you can hear him lying
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's stumbling words and stuff like that.
Well, you can also chalk that up to being nervous.
The newer one, I used to do this for a living. The newer one,
Yeah.
if you watch them, when you tell the truth or when you're recollecting a thought or something that you remember from the past,
Yeah, you look up and to the right.
You will look up. The right doesn't. That's some movie bullshit. You're gonna look up because it's recollection. You're recollecting. If you look at them the whole entire time, not one of them even looked in any direction of recollection or something. They looked into rehearsed.
Yeah, there's another.
There's rehearsed thought, there is immediate thought, and then there is your past thoughts.
Yeah,
So
I watch a couple channels that specifically are trained in noticing those little subtle lies, like giveaways, if you will. So yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So looking from that perspective, I wouldn't. And this is the 70s. I got to be honest with you. I do not believe any of these 1970s, early 80s UFO stories
What
because
about 1947 Roswell?
well, the government's involved in that. That's the difference.
You
When you
reminded
have
me of-
government involved, and then you have civilians.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
a whole different thing, especially when you see these stupid assholes throwing frisbees and trying to take pictures in the 70s.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It became a huge craze
It
to
was
try to
this
get
weird
UFO photos.
Yeah, but coming from like that's the one thing. Like I got to be honest with you. Fire in the Sky was one of the movies that really got me involved in UFOs because there was nothing like it. All the UFOs movie were kind of like touchy here, like Disney movies is what I would consider it. And when then Fire in the Sky came out, it was almost violent.
It was
and
hardcore.
Like,
yeah,
it was very hardcore, and that's what got me into UFOs. But what I was young. When was this movie released?
1993 or 2.
Okay, so I was
somewhere
like
there.
13, 14 years old, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The more research I did on this, I got more upset because like, okay, something's not right. Something, you know what I mean? And when I became an adult and I finally did the research, I was like, this is just like, there's just so many. He wasn't abducted. That's the way I see it. I do not believe it one bit. I'm sorry, guys.
I don't either. Actually, I mean, I'm with you on on this. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like I said, I don't believe that he was abducted by any aliens, any extraterrestrials that might be out there.
I find the demon thing interesting, though. That's very fascinating.
Yeah,
we should get into the ultra terrestrial thing.
That doesn't make sense to. Like I was thinking about it, but it doesn't make sense to me.
How
So
so?
it was very strange.
Can we get into that? Just for a second. Like,
Yeah, sure.
Why is that strange?
The way I was listening to it, I just want to make sure if there's extraterrestrial life that is not human-like, based on the perception of the written word in the Bible, then it is a demon. Am I correct in that statement?
I'm saying that if there is any beings out there that aren't humans, that aren't made in God's image, like
what is the definition of human? So that I want to be in.
Okay.
What do you see as human?
So a human is in I mean, if we're gonna get into like phylum, family, genus, species, all that. I mean,
No, because it's biblical. You don't need to get into that because
oh, okay.
you're going from biblical, correct?
Yes, then an intent, and then I would classify it. I would define it as a animal that God imbibed with His own image and gave intelligence to take care of the earth, to maintain the animals, the agriculture, the paradise that He made for us. So it's basically we're animals, but we are the intelligent animals that are meant to rule over the earth, and we're made in God's image. And our souls are the Holy Spirit.
Well,
that's what I believe anyway.
Anyway, I got a little bit more on the Travis. The thing, File 13 actually reminded me of something. If you ever look at Travis when he's doing retelling his story, he'll actually take his eyes and lock them in one direction.
Yeah.
So he's not looking around or anything. And also on the polygraph test, I almost forgot to mention there's a little abstract that he came across. Reevaluating polygraph tests. 15 years have elapsed since the report was released by the National Academy of Science on the scientific status of polygraph tests. The NAS has reported concluded that the scientific basis of the comparison in question in technique, the CQT, was weak. The extent research was of low quality. The polygraph profession's claim for high accuracy of the CQT were unfounded. And although the CQT has greater than chance accuracy, its error rate is unknown, and also can vary even from that original study that they're basically saying is garbage now. Even that said, that someone who of high intelligence and a poor test taker, it can also vary wildly of what you're going to get. Polygraph proponents argue that current research indicates that the CQT has a 90% or better accuracy. The National Research Council of the National Academy of Science in 2003 analysis support the accuracy claim, and the CQT qualifies as legally admissible science evidence. And so we reviewed the scientific literature that has appeared since the appearance of the NAS publication, including a new method of estimating polygraph accuracy. We showed that the NAS reporter has been misrepresented, misinterpreted, and misinterpreted by those who support us of the CQT in forensic settings. We conclude that the quality of research has changed little in the year has elapsed since the release of the NAS report, and that the report's landmark conclusions still stand. And so basically, yeah, and this is from this. And this re-looking at it came from 2019.
Yeah. File 13, can we get back into it a little bit? I want to hear, I just want to hear what your thoughts are about the demons and stuff. Is that all right? File 13?
Yeah. So even by definition, you can't even call them demons because demon involves possession. You would be saying
no, it doesn't. They're fallen angels.
Some kind of supernatural entity, which I don't think, if you're going to be talking about an organic creature of some sort from another planet, that still wouldn't really qualify as demon.
I'm just going off about what you said. You said that they were considered demons.
I said I believe that if there is intelligent life out there, I believe they're not from another world. I believe that
That's a good point. Let's go with there. You say intelligent life, right?
Yeah.
More intelligent than us.
Yes, because they're fallen angels. They were
by logic.
They were created before us. Yeah.
By logic, doesn't that make us the demons?
No.
If they're superior than us in technology and everything, how are we not?
It's not technology. It's supernatural. They are holy. They were holy angels that fell from heaven in the Great War between when Lucifer got his pride and tried to take on God. And 1/3 of the angels fought, the army of God. They lost. They were thrown down into a new place that God
but
created
that's just
for
one
them.
story. Now you can get into the Book of Enoch. You can get into so many other books.
Yeah, but
in
the Book
Bible
of
that were never
Enoch,
published.
the Book
I'm-
of Enoch isn't.
just an
There's only a
example.
couple.
You can
I
get on
know,
the Dead
I
Sea
know.
Scrolls.
No,
There's
no, I
so
know.
many-
But the Dead Sea Scrolls is actually proving the point, because there's actually I think there's there's thousands of manuscripts that all say the exact same thing. The
Yeah,
book of,
actually, it has changed quite a bit.
It's a lot. There's also like the what is it, the Judas, what is it, the Gospel of Judas that people don't even talk about. There's
Yeah.
a lot of things that
It
that's
didn't
why I don't
make it
talk
into
about
the- that-
I don't
yeah.
talk about religion because of this, because it goes I'm very,
No. I mean, I'm not like taking this serious. I like hearing other people's opinions and stuff.
I just find it very interesting that the perception that let's forget intelligent life, that because of I would say religion, it's dismissed as something evil. That makes no sense. It even goes against the principles of the Bible. You should never.
No, it doesn't at all.
That's very strange.
No, it doesn't at all. That's the whole point of free will. Okay,
That doesn't give you free will. That's
Yes,
telling
it
you that
does.
if something smarter comes down, we consider it now a demon.
No, because there's
Yeah.
angels too. There's good angels. There's
So the angels are going to come down and defeat it. This sounds like Independence.
Yes,
Like, I'm being very
yes.
serious.
If
So
you-
when
if
the
you've
aliens
read,
come,
if you've read the Bible, yes, in Revelations, even before Revelations, Michael the archangel, when Moses died, Satan came and was in the Bible. I forgot what book it is, but he
So
tried to.
tell-
He tried.
tell me where in the
let
Bible
me
it
finish.
says
Let me.
aliens. That's all I wanna know.
I didn't say aliens. I said we came up with the term aliens. Aliens just means foreign entity. That's why we call people that cross the border aliens. Alien is just a foreign entity that we don't have a classification for. But what I was trying to say is that Satan basically in I think is the book of Elijah. He tried to take Moses' body and take him down to hell because the Jesus's the fulfillment of Jesus Christ had not been fulfilled yet, so we were under the old law at that point. And Michael the archangel came down, and basically he's like he's destined to destroy Satan in the end battle. He even says in the Bible, I forget exactly what the verse says, but it's basically like, you better fuck off, Satan. You know how this is going to end, because they know how this is going to end. According to the Bible, the demons are fallen angels, so they're not angels anymore. They have become demonic. They were thrown down into hell, into Hades. It's the Greek term, because it was written in Greek and in Hebrew, the original Bibles. So basically, they're not angels anymore, but they do have power over the earth because Satan convinced Adam and Eve to eat from the tree of good and evil. And the reason that I believe wholeheartedly in Christianity is because it's the only religion that is accurate as far as the terrain that we're finding. We're finding cities that were buried that we never knew about, and they're all in the Bible. And how they were destroyed and stuff like that, it lines up with exactly what was said in the Bible and stuff like that. So basically, without a creator to start the evolution and everything, this is just what I believe. I'm not, this is just me. I'm not trying to preach. I'm just trying to tell you where my beliefs stem from.
Listening.
So without a creator, without a hand to start the process of everything, you can't start you can't have something come from nothing. So the Big Bang
Well, that's not
Theory.
what happened, but anyway.
Good point.
Well, yes, it is. The Big Bang Theory is.
So you believe in creation, right?
Oh, when,
Yes.
You know the question. So
we're
who
getting to
created the
evolution and
creator?
getting
If
into
you
Yes.
believe in creation, who created
Yes.
the creator?
getting into
He's outside of time and space. That's
See,
the whole
that doesn't
point.
make sense.
Yes, it does. Well, it doesn't make sense to us in our
It's like-
in our brain. We can't comprehend
There's like
outside of
exist-
time and space.
So
But yes, he created
exists.
time and space.
So there's existence and creation, but he's the only one that exists, but everybody creates.
No, he created the entire universe, time and space. He
Who created
the
it?
concepts.
And so that's the concept
He
of
does-
creation. Who created him?
He did. He's always been in eternity. You know what?
So,
You know the word infinity. He
Yeah.
is infinity.
That's called the concept of existence, not creation.
No, but he's outside of time. So he's been around. He will be around forever.
Right.
So
if you're going with the concept of creation,
he can reach into time and manifest things inside our
Wait,
our world.
how does he do anything if there's no time?
He lives outside of time.
Magic,
he lives
buddy.
outside of time and
It's
space.
magic. It's
That's why he knows what's going to happen. That's why he gave all the prophecies to all the disciples and everybody that wrote in the Bible the prophecies that have already they already came true. We have actually historical evidence of that. But yeah, I mean, without a creator, the Big Bang could not have started because.
Anyway, we're getting off topic here.
absolutely.
Okay, all right. Well, I like talking about this.
I'd love to argue with you. Maybe we can actually come up with a whole show on this.
Okay,
sometime.
let's do a whole show about it because I really do enjoy talking about this, and I have no hard feelings against anybody.
You got your hardcore atheist right here to argue with.
Yeah, no, and that's
I'm not
perfectly
atheist.
fine.
I am.
I'm not.
I'm
Well,
surprised you're doing all the arguing for me here. I'm supposed to be the one.
I
making all
find
these
I
arguments.
find religion kind of
Well,
ridiculous. But that's a whole different
he's
thing.
playing devil's advocate, and I understand that.
Oh no, I was a hardcore Christian Pentecostal. I actually have my I was a minister too. So
Really? Well,
yes.
But
But I gave that all up. So that's another story.
I
Anyway,
believe it. I believe it. Yeah, we'll do another show on it because I really do like talking about this, and I think a lot of people
I
out
write
there.
down some of my science stuff on biology.
Yeah. So we'll go into it on another show. I think that would be a very good thing. Even if it's not to convince you or anybody else, just to get the ideas out there and to I'll come up with some scriptures and stuff like that, and some historical evidence and stuff like that. So anyway, so we'll finish this out, and then we'll get into the Legend of the Sleepy Hollow, and then we'll get into the categories of the Tobin Spirit Guide, and we'll explain what each one actually means, like Class 1, Class 2, and stuff like that. So
You want to get into the discussion, explain that first?
okay, let's do that. That way we can, when we talk about the Headless Horseman, we can just get right into
So let's
what
get the
we
diagram
what
up
we
here.
classify. Yeah, let me put it up on the screen.
This is the diagram from where it originated from, the Ghostbusters International role-playing game.
Yeah.
And this gives us the Class S7 system. No, it's a... Put mine up. That's just the image.
Yeah, so it's up there right now.
It's like the image I put up. Put that one up. It'll be... You don't have to look at the whole...
Okay.
site.
Let me take this one down then. Did File leave?
Yeah, it looks like you dropped out. Shoot.
Did he get Duck of Death?
Might have.
Did he get? I see a private chat. Guys, I gotta head out. You guys are okay.
Oh, shoot.
All right. Damn it.
Anyway,
All right.
we can do this. No problem.
All right.
I got plenty of material here.
All right. Well, he was scared to debate. That's right.
Yeah,
He knew I was right. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking around.
Alright.
But the Buckethead, formerly known as Jeff Daniels, God is outside of the realm of time and space. It's impossible for us as humans to be able to comprehend him. That's exactly that was my point. but we'll get into it another time. We're
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
have,
get into that another time.
we'll have a whole stream just on angels,
Angels,
God,
demons,
demon,
sounds great.
all that stuff. I would love to have a stream just about that because honestly, as somebody that I mean, I feel like God works in my life every day and has saved my life, and we are called to spread the word and talk about God and His Word as much as possible. So I would love to get my debate skills up as well and go on other shows and debate and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So this was a perfect opportunity to start that course. So I appreciate. And more so, I respect your opinion and File 13 and everybody's. Like, I had my 15 years of being atheist, hating God and everything.
No, I don't hate God.
Well, I did. I'm just saying I did.
Well, I guess it depends on which God you're talking about.
Well, I'm talking about the Christian God. The Christian God.
Well, that has a lot of variation to it, but
well, the God from not necessarily. I mean, the Bible's pretty cut and dry, but we'll get into it another time.
Yeah, we'll get into it another time.
But anyway, yeah. But anyway, so the point is just that I love talking about it, and I appreciate and respect everybody's opinions. It took me being an atheist and hating God to come around to learning about the Bible, actually, because I was brought up like a lot of people, just kind of, this is what you believe, this is what we believe as a family, we go to church, we do this, and it was just kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever, but God was never in my heart at the time. So anyway, we'll get into it later, though.
Yes.
Thank you so much for humoring me and getting into it, and File 13, thank you as well for getting into it as well. I've had personal encounters with demons. Believe me, I'll tell you a story too. I might have already told you, but we have a lot to talk about, and we're already like hour and 41 minutes into this. So we'll do this. We'll talk about demons and all that stuff another time.
We'll get to the classification system here.
Yeah, I hope that I hope that y'all will enjoy a stream like that, though. I don't want to piss anybody off and like make it seem like I'm preaching or anything. So
okay, so this is actually the actual screenshot from the game that the Class 7 system comes from. We can this is probably what we'll be using, seeing this seems to be the most accepted one. The real Ghostbusters, this cartoon, uses a different classification system, which goes beyond 7. I think actually goes with the Extreme Ghostbusters. It goes up to 13. That one uses a system that classifies ghosts seem roughly based on how powerful they are. It seems.
I think Class 13 that scale works better. 13 is supposed to be like a sacred number or something like that.
The system works a little bit differently. That seems to be seen as it's based on power, or the game, which is this is derived from. That'd be more akin to ectopresence rather than it would determine the ghost power. With Class 1, of course, we have our vapors or orbs. These are basically indistinct forms, your mists and stuff. Maybe strange sounds and lights with no physical form. Your Class 2, you starting to get some physical form. So you might have a disembodied hand or a disembodied head, the vague forms of something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Class 3, these are full. These are basically full terrestrial. These were living beings, humans, who had died. But we don't know their name, and they may not even know their own names.
Yeah, isn't Slimer a Class 3, or is he Class
5? We'll get into that.
Okay.
Now, actually, I do have a little bit of a problem with the Class 3 system. I'll talk about that a little bit later once we get into classifying the Headless Horseman.
Okay, cool.
Class 4 is basically exactly the same as Class 3, except that we know the entity's name.
That's literally the only change, is that you know
That's
that they know their
that's
identity.
that's literally the only
So
change.
so they've chosen their pronouns.
Effectively, you could say that, but
Just a joke. Just
yeah,
a joke.
I understand. But class 5 are basically non-human forms. These are basically they can take form basically through rituals. Like Slimer, he was created as a ritual byproduct.
Oh,
The
really?
form of,
Did we learn about that in the real Ghostbusters?
well, there's still some vagueness of it, but
Because
this is
I would love to hear. I would love for them to have like a side story or a comic book series where we learn who summoned the Onion Head.
uh, it's basically who's through probably through ritual will form and taking in the manifestation of gluttony. Or that's all.
That makes sense.
Actually, I'll
Yeah.
read this verbatim.
Yeah, definitely gluttony because he's supposed to represent John Belushi.
Yeah, it's interesting how he was created in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Because the guy who actually created him did a lot of cocaine, and then said that John Belushi visited him as a ghost and helped him create the design of Slimer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Basically, but these things are basically non-humans. They take on very grotesque and misshapen forms of often, and they can basically form through psychomagnetic energy. He's in condensed ecto. Your class 6 ghosts are basically ghosts of animals, or they behave in animalistic manners. There's in the example that they give that we see on screen here is that of a giant penguin, and that roamed around.
Mm-hmm. Hey, before I forget, are you Mage's Musings?
Yeah.
Merlin's.
No, Mage is Media Musings.
Mage's Medium. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little. It's a Jedi plushie.
Okay.
Wolf.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying. I'm trying
There's
to find.
there's another.
Okay, I
there's
found
a guy
it.
who goes Mage's Musings. He's got this little wizard thing.
Okay.
That's not me.
I found it. I just want to get your link on my list so I can share it.
Okay. So, and obviously we have class 7, which is kind of a broad spectrum term because it covers your demons, your angels, your demigods, your gods, and so forth. And they're usually really powerful beings.
Yeah.
So that's your class 7 system right there. And then you also get into other things talking that further define the ghosts, give this descriptive things like being focused. Is basically locked into a general area, free floating. They can float around full torso. They have body, arms, head, maybe, or their legs. Repeating or repeater, which is they can self-generate. You can get multiple of the same ghosts. Which, by the way, Slimer falls under that classification.
So basically, let me get this. Let me see if I understand this correctly. So if they get hit with a proton stream, they can reform the parts that was hit, or they can make a clone of themselves, like a doppelganger. Is that
basically if there's enough of
I'm confused as to which one you're describing.
Basically, if there's enough psychokinetic energy in the area, it can reform another version of that ghost.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
You have vapors, mists, obviously your space smoke.
Yeah.
And you have a whole bunch of different. It gets into a bunch of different things. So.
Well, I mean, if it doesn't take too long, can you get into just a little bit of it?
Sure. The realistic video game added a whole bunch of other ones, like caustic being corrosive.
Yeah.
A collection of things.
By the way, if you haven't played the 2009 Ghostbusters game, which is actually supposed to be the third movie, they wrote the script for it when Harold Ramis was still alive. Go play that game. It is one of the coolest games to play. I still play it to this day, even though it's 15 years old. It still holds up. It still holds up.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I actually considered doing some Let's Plays on my own channel of that.
I need to finish my Let's Play of Ghostbusters. I just finished the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. It's a really good game though. The voice acting is really good. The graphics are still really good for its time. The whole story is very fun. That you can tell they put a lot of work into it.
But
So-
obviously, you have possessors being able to take possession of an object or a person. It's basically again it goes on, and so there's a whole bunch of swarmers, an entity that travels in packs and swarm around its prey. So that was you see a lot of that with the book ghosts that you encounter.
Okay. Yeah.
In the game. So that's what you get for that.
Yeah. So we just did Vaporous, and Mist. Is that what you just is that what you just went over, or repeating a repeater?
Oh, that was those are just other.
The type you combine
you can combine these.
Yeah,
to
like a
get
class,
a better description.
A class 6 full torso apparition. So basically that's okay. And then we also got anchored indicates that a ghost is anchored tied to a particular location.
It's actually a little bit of interesting because Focus also seems to talk about the same thing. And I was looking into how the general thought about how Focus versus anchored, and from what I gather is the general consensus is that Focused is the ghost is locked into a certain area. So sort of more of a larger region, while anchored is much more specific. Like say if they're locked into a certain room and they can't go out that room, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So you have a much more broader range. Like for instance, Slimer was focused, so he was focused to the hotel, but he could travel throughout the entire hotel. Whereas anchored might be anchored to a specific room in the hotel.
And then when he got caught, I guess he was anchored to the fire station because that's where he escaped from.
Possibly.
Yeah, if you go by the real Ghostbusters cartoon. So then we got caustic, animating, animator, composite, corporeal, ethereal, floater, free roaming vapor, full torsoed, inhabiting, kinetic, paranormal, planar, possessor, reactive, remnant, secretion, seep, swarmer, telekinetic, transdimensional, ultra-dimensional, and wandering possessor. Everybody.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that Tobin $300 Tobin Spear guide it actually expands on this. Either.
I did put the 20% down, so I do have a copy. As soon as I can pay it off,
I want that book so bad. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna pay for it.
I was able to get my mom to let me borrow a little bit of money to save it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about begging some of my friends to loan me some money.
Because they say on their website that they're not going to keep making them forever. I was originally told that they would probably keep making them for a while, but it seems like you better get them while they have them because while they're printing them. So I made sure to put my 20% down and made sure to get a mine in the bag, and I can pay it off as I please. But let me go ahead and read some of these super chat or these chats real quick. Gunner, I think it would be awesome discussion. Could be a new Theta series, maybe. But I was thinking more along the lines of going on to other channels and doing debates. I really like the channel The Crucible, and they do debates on basically I don't know how to say it properly without sounding like like feminism and that type, the left and the political stuff, but I'd like to kind of get into the religious aspect and kind of just be more knowledgeable about my beliefs and stuff like that.
We shall fight, good sir. Take my gauntlet of metal. Bap!
That's right. Oh, you know what? I never read this. I meant to read this earlier today. Let me just read this because I read, I wrote it. So anyway, Ladies and gentlemen, and whatever cryptid is watching from the shadows, welcome to the Phenomenon Files, the show where we stare into the abyss of the paranormal, and the abyss gets uncomfortable and asks us to leave. I'm your host, the Theta Ranger, your fearless, well, mildly concerned guide through the weird and unexplained, but I'm not alone in this madness. Oh no. Oh no, I've got backup. MageGrayWolf, our resident skeptic wizard and expert ancient folklore. If there's a spell to ward off interdimensional horrors, he probably knows it, or at least pretends to. The Terrordog, he did not show up, but he is the cryptid tracker, the monster whisperer, the guy who once tried to reason with the Wendigo, and it did not go so well. File 13, our walking, talking, possibly haunted hard drive of knowledge. If the government ever wipes our memories, File 13 will still have the receipts. Tonight, we've got a hell of a lineup. First, we just dissected the Travis Walton abduction, apparent abduction, a real-life close encounter that inspired the Fire in the Sky film. Did Travis really get beamed up? Was it all an elaborate hoax? Or did he just get really lost in the woods with an overactive imagination? Then we're heading into the legend of Sleepy Hollow and Headless Horseman. Is he a ghostly soldier with a grudge, a supernatural serial killer, or just a guy who misplaced his head and is always too stubborn to move on? And is way too stubborn to move on. Buckle up, grab your tinfoil hats, and for the love of all things spooky, smash the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment after the stream ends because it helps the engagement so much. Because engagement is scarier than any because engagement is scarier than any poltergeist. Get it? Like marriage. Now let's dive in before we end up as the next paranormal case file, which we already started.
So want me to read what I got here?
Yes. Well, let's let me. I have a short video.
Okay, you want to play your short video first?
I would like to.
Okay.
Yes, I know. Buckethead. He is 100. He messaged me earlier. And I was about to message him because I saw that he got to 100, but he beat me to it. I was in the middle of making the introduction for this show. But yeah, I'm so happy that he got to 100 subs. We're going to get him to 200 and then 300 and 500 and then get him, all the way to monetization, partnership program style. So let me get this screen shared. Legend of Sleepy. The Legend of Sleepy. All right. This is it's only like
as the shadows dance,
it's only 7 minutes,
and the wind whispers secrets of an old tale. Tonight, we journey into the heart of Sleepy Hollow, a place where legends roam and history intertwines with the unknown. Nestled along the banks of the Tarrytown River, Sleepy Hollow is more than just a quaint village. It's a realm steeped in lore, where the boundaries between the past and the supernatural blur. The story begins in the late 18th century, a time of transformation and turmoil in America, where ghosts of the Revolutionary War still haunted the land. In this tranquil valley, the air is thick with tales of restless spirits. The most infamous of these is none other than the Headless Horseman, an eerie figure clad in darkness, forever searching for his missing head. But where did this spectral rider originate? Local legends trace the horseman back to a Hessian soldier, a mercenary who fought for the British during the war. Injured in battle, his head was severed by a cannonball, leaving him a restless soul wandering the very hills where he once marched. With each autumn breeze, whispers of his mournful search echo through the trees, reminding the living of their own mortality. But what of the man who first brought this tale to life? Enter
Disney.
Washington Irving, a writer and local resident who, in 1820, penned The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. His protagonist, Ichabod Crane, a timid schoolmaster, finds himself caught in a web of fear.
It's Ichabod, right? It's not Ichabod, right?
Ichabod.
Ichabod. Okay. Okay. Good.
And obsession.
It's called Ichabod.
He is
Yeah, Ichabod sounds like a disease.
enamored by the beautiful Katrina Van Tassel, but jealousy lurks in the shadows, embodied by the brash Brom Bones. Ichabod Crane was not just any teacher. He
That's
was
the
a
AI
peculiar
for ya.
figure, tall and lanky,
Oh yeah, you're right. It is AI. You're
Oh,
absolutely right.
While we
With
have
a
the
neck-
pause, while we have a pause, might as well point out that animated short done by Disney is actually a pretty faithful retelling of the story.
Yeah, well, from what I remember, it is. Yeah, I've read. I've done. I think I might be making this up, but I think I remember doing a report on The Legend of Sleepy Hollow in middle school. It might have been something that I was planning on doing and didn't do, but I did research for. I don't know.
They make very few changes to the story with that cartoon.
The Buckethead, formerly known as Jeff Daniels, says, "Oh, I think I got the Ichabod." I think, yeah, it's spreading. It's one of those STDs that you just can't get rid of.
neck that seemed to stretch like a willow tree. His eyes were perpetually wide, as if he were constantly startled by the very ghosts he feared. He thrived on the tales spun by local townsfolk, stories that fueled his imagination and heightened his anxiety. Yet, beneath his timid exterior lay a man driven by desire, keen to win Katrina's affection. As the story unfolds, we're drawn into a world of love, rivalry, and supernatural dread. The Harvest Festival, a festive gathering filled with laughter and merriment, becomes the backdrop for Ichabod's hopes and dreams. Here, under
get
the
power
soft
for that.
glow of lanterns, he dances with Katrina, captivated by her charm.
That damn
But
Ichabod.
lurking in the shadows, Brombones watches with a smirk, plotting to thwart Ichabod's advances. Ichabod's infatuation with Katrina leads him to her father's grand farm, where tales of wealth and prosperity abound. The Van Tassel estate, with its sprawling fields and elegant home, symbolizes everything Ichabod yearns for. It is not merely Katrina's beauty that captivates him, it's the promise of a life filled with abundance and security.
Is it just me, or does that actually look like Johnny Depp? Because he played Ichabod Crane in Sleepy Hollow the movie.
That's probably what this is from.
That's crazy. Is it just me, or does that actually look like Johnny Depp?
Well, they are taking screenshots from the movie.
Is this from? Oh, this is from the movie. You're right. Never mind. My bad.
In his mind, winning her hand means claiming his place in a world that often feels beyond his reach. One fateful night, Ichabod, riding home
Shut
after
up.
the harvest
Stop.
celebration, encounters the
Ah,
fearsome
goodness.
horseman. The path through the woods becomes a treacherous maze, the trees whispering secrets of the past. What ensues is a chase through the darkened woods, where shadows loom and reality fractures. In a moment of terror, the horseman hurls his head, now a projectile of fate, toward Ichabod, sending him fleeing into legend. Yet, as we delve deeper, we discover that Sleepy Hollow isn't merely the realm of spirits. The very ground is rich with history, from the Dutch settlers who first claimed this land in the 1600s to the echoes of revolution. Each stone, each whisper of wind, carries the weight of those who walked before. The Hudson Valley,
Imagine living back then and having to be a map maker. Like this is pretty damn good. Like if you were living back then and you had to make a map, that's a pretty damn good map. You know what I
It's a
mean?
decent map, actually. I was trying to find one from back then, but I couldn't really find a decent one.
Yeah, this is I mean, I would say this is from like the 1700s.
It's hard to say. It's definitely an early one.
Yeah, but for the time, I mean that's pretty damn good. I mean, you don't have like drones or even airplanes or anything to see, the terrain above. You kind of had to just travel around and draw what you see. That's that's crazy.
with its serene beauty, also holds a darker past. Stories of the ancient Lenape tribes remind us that this land was once sacred ground, a site of their own legends and rituals. The convergence of these cultures birthed a tapestry of myth, a patchwork woven with threads of fear, love, and the ever-elusive search for meaning. Sleepy Hollow is steeped in its own peculiarities. The village once thrived on the trade routes of early America, bustling with merchants and travelers. The charm of its narrow roads and classic architecture often masks the stories buried within.
They have a paved street. Okay, that is not accurate.
That's an AI generated thing right there.
They did not have paved roads for cars back when the Headless Horseman was apparently around trying to get Ichabod Crane's head.
And that thing has a head too, but
yeah.
But this is actually an interesting. But one thing that they did get accurate is how the horseman is riding up to along the side at Ichabod here.
Yeah, that's right.
The old church, a relic of another era, still stands as a testament to the lives once lived, while the graveyard is a somber reminder of mortality, where the past echoes through time. And as the legend of the Van Tassel family, whose legacy is intertwined with the town's narrative. Katrina Van Tassel, the daughter of a wealthy farmer, embodies the beauty and allure of Sleepy Hollow. Her presence was magnetic, drawing men from far and wide. Yet, her heart remained elusive, leading to desperation and envy among suitors. As night falls, the town breathes a little differently, inviting the curious to listen closely. Some claim they've seen the horseman himself, galloping through the mist, searching for the head he lost in battle. Others whisper of lights flickering in the old graveyards, where shadows stretch and dance, revealing the silhouettes of long-gone residents. It is said that if you listen closely, you might just hear the faint echoes of laughter from the past, mingled with the cries of those lost to time. But the legends do not end with Ichabod and the horseman. The very land carries tales of strange occurrences, mysterious lights that float above the ground, sudden chills that sweep through the air, and the feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. Locals speak of encounters with apparitions, ghostly figures that roam the streets at night, reenacting moments from history. The legacy of Sleepy Hollow is not solely one of fear. It also serves as a reminder of our own humanity. The trials faced by Ichabod reflect our desires and vulnerabilities. The tales of the Headless Horseman resonate with those who fear the unknown, the struggles of life and love, and the inevitable passage of time. Historically, Sleepy Hollow has seen its share of turmoil. The American Revolutionary War was particularly tumultuous for this region. It was here that many skirmishes took place, where men were lost, and their stories faded into the mists of time. This lingering sorrow adds depth to the lore, creating a rich tapestry of history that remains woven into the landscape. As the legend of Sleepy Hollow continues to grow, it becomes a mirror reflecting our fears, our loves, and our desire to connect with something greater than ourselves. Each year, as Halloween approaches, the air fills with excitement and dread. The tales are retold, reimagined, and reinvigorated, keeping the spirit of Sleepy Hollow alive. But remember, dear friends, every tale comes with a warning. The horseman is not just a figment of imagination. He is a reminder of the consequences of envy, greed, and unfulfilled desires. As we venture through the shadows of Sleepy Hollow, let us tread lightly, for we may awaken something best left undisturbed. So, as you lay your head to rest tonight,
that's a cool fucking piece of art right there. That looks cool.
Remember the whispers of Sleepy Hollow. Embrace the mystery, the history, and the folklore. And perhaps, just perhaps, you might hear the galloping hooves of the Headless Horseman drawing near, searching for his lost head in the darkness of the night. Let your imagination run wild, and as you ponder the tales of this haunted valley, consider the lessons they impart. In Sleepy Hollow, the past never truly fades. It lingers, waiting for the next soul to uncover its secrets. For every story told, there is a truth waiting to be unveiled, a truth that resides in the heart of Sleepy Hollow, where legend and reality collide in an endless dance. This has been the Phantom Files, and until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant.
No, this was actually the Paranormal Files. No, but thank you to the Phantom Files for this video and letting us get a full deep dive into the Headless Horseman and Sleepy Hollow. So let's hear what you had to find.
All right. Well, first of all, we can go to the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, story written in 1820 by Washington Irving, and that can be found in the sketchbook of Humphrey Crayon, or
Hey, Hail Comic Relief Crusader, thank you for stopping by. I just wanted to say hi.
Hello. Oh,
God
or
bless
basically-
you. I'm sorry to interrupt again. Comic Relief Crusader, you missed a friendly debate on religion earlier. So we decided that maybe next week or the week after that, we're going to have a little friendly debate for my side for Christianity and for the creation of our Father from our Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, the Holy Trinity, and then we're also going to have MageGrayWolf and maybe File 13 gang up on me and take the atheistic side. So
whatever File 13 is gonna take.
Yeah, we're gonna be battling, and maybe even dog meat too. I mean, who knows? Might be a triple threat.
Quadruple
match.
threat there. Tag team threat there.
Yeah, so I gotta do some Bible push-ups and learn my verses and stuff.
We might want to do a couple of weeks to give us time to
Okay.
prepare.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Give us at least 2 weeks, and then we'll have a friendly little debate. Yeah, exactly. We're just gonna have a friendly little debate about our about the what we believe in the Bible and how how we feel it makes the most sense out of everything, out of anything out there. That's going to be my take. So,
Okay. Well, anyway, back to
yeah.
Well, so
I was just telling him because he always posts these sermons on Sundays, and I can't thank you enough for always putting that in my feed and giving me a sermon every Sunday, reminding me to worship. So,
all right.
God bless you, Comic Relief Crusader.
All right. Right. Done.
Yep, I'm done.
Great. So
but actually, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you. I'm sorry.
The story can be found in the sketchbook of Godfrey E. Crane and Jen, also referred to as just the sketchbook. A collection of 34 essays in short story is written by Irving. It's considered to be America's first ghost story. Based on his description, the horseman would be an entity he described in Celtic folklore known as a Dullahan. These are headless riders, sometimes on horseback, like in this particular story, sometimes riding death coaches, where in some of these descriptions of these death coaches is the horses themselves are headless. The story can be found all over Europe. But different Dullahans can mean different things. Some are bringers of death, like basically an embodiment of death itself, so like a Grim Reaper. Others are actually vigilantes, more of on the justice side of things, which kind of makes me wonder why we haven't really seen anything like a headless horseman in a comic book being a superhero vigilante. Maybe that's
very interesting. Yeah, I you know what? I wouldn't put it past it though that they might have one out there that we just don't know about. It might not be as popular.
The closest I can think of is Ghost Rider, but
yeah, that's true. It might. Yeah, Ghost Rider might be the closest thing to that. Anyway, yeah, that's
unlike Irving's stories, these folktales often focus on as being a moral tale or warning.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing I kind of want to point out is in the story itself. If it talks about how the area seems to be cursed and it seems to have many ghosts in it, which actually was mentioned in that video you played.
Mm-hmm.
The most prominent of which, according to the story, is the Headless Horseman himself.
Yes.
Now, as the story, I'm going to kind of jump around here, but as the story goes on, and as they mentioned, he was at a party, and they started telling their ghost stories, as was pretty common for this area. And the tale was told by old Brower, who was apparently a disbeliever in ghosts before he met the Headless Horseman. According to his story, the ghost chased after him, but when he reached the old bridge, the ghost turned into a skeleton and threw him in the brook. I have to admit, it being thrown into a brook by a headless skeleton might actually get me to believe even ghosts.
Yeah. Nice.
And sprang away over the treetop to the clap of thunder. Now, of course, Brom Bones, being the boastful little jackass that he is in the story, he had to one up the story by saying that he challenged the writer to a race and almost beat him, but as he passed the old bridge, the specter burst into flames and vanished, vanishing into a flash of fire. So as Ichabod rides home at night, he encounters the rider, supposedly. We'll get into. I'll mention that in a little bit. And the rider, of course, chases after him, keeping right up with him. He tries to slow down, the drag behind. The rider slows down along with him. He tries to speed up. The rider speeds up. Eventually, he loses his saddle because of problems with the saddle little straps. So he's holding on for dear life to this decrepit horse. And he just cannot seem to get away from the rider. Well, finally, he sees the bridge and thinks back to the stories he heard earlier in the night and figures he'll be safe if he can just cross it. Of course, once he crosses the bridge, he stops.
Screwed.
He stops, looks back to see if the rider vanishes like in the stories. But in this case, the rider takes his head and throws it at Ichabod, hitting him right in the face. It's knocking him off of his horse, Gunpowder, name of the horse. And the rider rides past him, goes over the bridge, and rides past him following Gunpowder. Now, so obviously the horseman couldn't pass the bridge, which is what happened in the story.
Exactly.
See, a Brom Bone, but there's a little bit of wrinkle in the story because there's some suggestion that the rider that Ichabod encountered, it was in fact Brom Bones in disguise. As it mentions in the story, Brom Bones too, who shortly after his rival's disappearance, Ichabod disappeared afterwards, and there was some talk later on of him actually making a new life someplace else. Conducted the blooming in Katrina in triumph to the altar, was observed to look exceedingly knowing whenever the story of Ichabod was related, and also burst into hearty laugh at the mention of the pumpkin, which led some to suspect that he knew more about the matter than he chose to tell. And given the way the guy was described in the story, you couldn't really put it past him to dress up as the Headless Horseman and chase after the guy and scare him off as much as he did.
Did you ever watch Are You Afraid of the Dark? Do you remember that show? Do you remember the Headless Horseman episode?
I don't. I know. I remember watching it. I don't remember it though.
If y'all remember Are You Afraid of the Dark? It was a Canadian show on Nick at Night where they would get it was a bunch of kids and they would gather around a campfire and they'd tell stories, and they had one of the stories was about a modern day a kid that moved to Sleepy Hollow and ends up meeting the Headless Horseman, and the same thing happens. He runs across the bridge, and the Headless Horseman disappears and stuff like that. But
well, at any rate,
it just reminded me of that.
Anyway, since we like to put a Ghostbusters slant on this, and that's exactly what we're doing with
I already have my votes, and I want to see if I want you to decide what you feel it is, and then I will then we'll both share.
Okay, you want me to do? Okay, well, anyway, I wanted to go into this a little bit tidbit I came across. The Real Ghostbusters, Season 2, Episode 30, The Headless Motorcyclist, is tackled with the Headless Horseman from the story. They stated that since water is a natural ionizing agent, it acts to weaken the horseman. The horseman has a high concentration of PK energy. And Egon stated the horseman was a simple ectoplasmic manifestation of 12.85 in the Flammarion scale, which is a made-up scale for the cartoon.
Is that the one with 13 levels?
No, that's her classification system. The old Ectozone website, it speculated that the Flammarion scale was a precursor to the through this international concept, the RPG of ectopresence, which gives you the scale of how powerful the ghost is. They captured the horseman in the cartoon using an overly complicated trap, using sci-fi technology of transmitting brain waves, suppressing brain waves, and using holographic technology to fool the thing into going onto the bridge.
How do they calculate how powerful each entity is?
That's through, like I said, that's through ectopresence. Basically, how much presence it has in our world.
Oh, okay. So basically, the levels 1 through 7, or is it a different scale?
It's a separate thing from the classification.
Okay.
So we have the classification, which gives us, the mist, human form, non-human form, animal, demon, whatnot.
Yeah.
And then you have the ectopresence, which gives you a scale of how powerful that thing is.
And basically, they just use a PKE meter to figure that out. Basically,
yeah, effectively,
or some kind of device. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just didn't know if we had like a list of ways to be able to deduce like the power level of each entity that we do.
Keep in mind, this is coming from the role playing game, so it was designed into.
Yeah, I'll take it as canon.
It's usually regarded as canon.
Yeah, so I'll take that as canon. So
I mean, like I said, the Class 7 system is used pretty much everywhere except for in the Real Ghostbusters cartoon, in the Extreme Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And even with the Real Ghostbusters and the Extreme Ghostbusters, the comic book for Real Ghostbusters uses the Class 7 system.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna stick to canon, you might as well just stick to the Class 7. I mean, that's the way they did it in the movies. There's no reason to change it. And
okay, now I gotta get this up for the next part here.
Yeah.
Bring it. There we are.
I hope y'all are enjoying this. I'm having a really good time, so I hope y'all are too.
So, as we mentioned in the story itself is a work of fiction and created by Washington Irving. The location, Sleepy Hollow, is very much real, and that's exactly what we're looking at right here on screen.
Yeah,
this
is
Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow Lighthouse. Sleepy Hollow's in the middle right here. Well, down a little from the middle. Yeah.
And the old church house that was mentioned in the story.
That's the actual church house. Oh, that's badass. I wish they would have kept the signs away, like kept it like really like old school feeling, like you know how they have those like recreations and stuff like that. I wish they would have kind of kept the modern signs out of there, but I mean, I guess if there's a road there, they got to do it. They got to.
Yeah, it kind of splits off from the road. But anyway, here's a top view. So the church is right here.
Oh, Old Dutch Church of Sleepy. Oh, that's fucking awesome. Where's the bridge?
The bridge might not exist, but there is a bridge right over here, and this is probably the body of water that would have been in one that Ichabod crossed.
He either takes a left, right, when he should have taken a right, or is it the opposite?
I think it was a left when he was supposed to. So he was going up. Well, actually,
it looks like it looks like he should have taken a left and he took a right. So because it goes into the river. And
well, from the story, he said he saw the church before the bridge, so he would have been from going right to left here.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
like I said, it's a story, so who knows if he got the actual dimensions right?
What I'm thinking of though is that he's coming from. If you look at the very left of the screen where it says DeVary's Avenue, at the very left.
The river here.
No, but I'm talking about. I think that he was coming from the very left, and then he got to where this bridge is, and he crossed the bridge, and
this might be where the old bridge.
Yeah, I think maybe that's the bridge the legendary bridge of Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, this is obvious. This is obviously a brand new. This is obviously a new bridge. That's here.
Yeah,
but wherever that bridge was, it was somewhere.
It was somewhere in here.
Yeah, somewhere in this general.
That's fucking cool. That's really cool. Good, but wait, dude, thank you so much for putting so much effort into finding all this shit. That's awesome.
It doesn't surprise that Washington Irving would use this, because he actually visited this town, this village in the 1790s. But there's one other thing here I had to throw in just for.
So it was in the 1700s. Okay.
No, he wrote the story in 1820, but he visited.
But supposedly,
1790.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, the
But
late
this is
1700s.
But anyway, just for a little bit of fun here, I put together this still image. Came across gives you an idea of how far you'd have to travel from the Ghostbusters firehouse to Sleepy Hollow.
That's cool. Dude, that's fucking awesome, man. So it would be
About an hour's trip.
Yeah, about 30
I would add maybe about 30 minutes to an hour given traffic.
Traffic, yeah, for New York. Yeah, so it's about 32 miles, 33 miles, and probably about a 2-hour drive almost.
Yeah. So that gives you time how long it would take to get from the firehouse. So that's a traversable trip for a Ghostbuster, I'd say.
That's cool. So if you ever have the Headless Horseman chasing you, just like head down this road right here and go to the firehouse, and the Ghostbusters will help you out.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool, dude, that you put in that much work to figure that out.
Now, for the classification of this thing.
Yeah. Do you want to go first, or
Sure.
do you?
If you want me to go first,
Yeah,
sure.
you go first, and
Okay.
I'll go next and see what we come up with.
Okay, so as we mentioned, this is obviously the ghost of someone who had passed away. He got his head blown off by a cannonball.
Yeah.
Only he's been looking for his head. So that, but we don't know his name. So automatically, by the classification system we have, that make him a class 3 ghost.
Exactly.
Now, like I said, I have a bit of an issue with this particular classification. I tend to make it a little bit of a difference where instead of being whether the ghost is named or not, whether the ghost shows agency.
Well,
basically,
he doesn't have a head, so he can't tell us what his name is, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, we don't know. He does. Yeah, we don't know his name.
Yeah, we don't know, but he might. So that might make him a class 4.
No, if we don't know his name, he's a class 3.
Oh, if we don't know his name. Oh, yeah. I thought if he didn't know who he was.
No, in some cases, the ghost might not even know his own name.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that the whole point was that if he has to know
if we don't,
who he is.
As soon as we figure out the name of the ghost, it's reclassified as a class 4.
Well, that doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really like.
I don't like that. I'm not buying it.
Now here's how I alter this. Instead of the ghost be based on whether you know the name or not, it's based on whether the ghost demonstrates agency. So basically, does the ghost demonstrate? Is it ghost just going through the motions of his past life, or does he actually show that he can actually think and can reason?
Well, and that's one of the description systems, or not description system, identification systems is or no, that's not right. Realistic versions, I think it indicate. We'll do yours and then I'll do mine.
So anyway, the rechange I'm also making for that is another part of that would be he is the ghost basically just acting on instinct, or like I said, does it actually show signs of reasoning and thinking? Now, based on that, from what we can gather just from the story alone, I would say that the Headless Horseman still would fall under the classification of a class 3 because he is just going through the motions of looking for his head or looking for a replacement of his head. He's not really making any in detailed plans. He doesn't seem to be showing any sign of reasoning into what he's doing.
Yeah.
So he would still fall under the classification of class 3.
That's not necessarily true. Again, because he doesn't have
as far as we can tell.
That's why I don't like that. I don't like that it's up to us finding out for him to be a class higher. I think that it should be about who he is
that's what I'm saying.
And his agency, like you're saying.
Yes, from what we observe, as far as we can observe, he is not really showing that agency. So we have to put him into the classification of class 3 from my own system.
Okay, well, since legally, legally, he's a class 3. But if we're going with the whole agency thing, as being the the autonomy for the class system,
he could still be a class 4.
I would say a class 4 or even a 5.
No, he wouldn't be a class 5 because he's the spirit of a deceased human. When class 5s are not that. They're non-human. In fact, they might not even have been alive to begin with.
Class 5s are fully formed manifestations, most often by the product of highly charged emotions and ambient psychokinetic energy. They can have human characteristics like limbs and discernible face, but otherwise as a non-human form and lacks personality or intelligence. Okay. Oh no, that yeah.
So obviously, this thing is a. I would put this get a little bit more into the description of the thing. I would put this thing into being a focused, being focused. So he's grounded to a general area within Sleepy Hollow.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
He is full torso.
Yes.
Who obviously has a arms body. And
That's what I got too.
I was also classify him as being a corporeal. So he'd be a class 3. He focused his full torso corporeal manifestation.
Okay. I'm a little bit different than you, but the first two, I'm with you. I got, if we're going with the legal term, the class 3, focused, full torso, repeating remnant. That's what I have. Because it's a repeating pattern. Repeater may refer to self-regenerating PKE force, commonly with ritually summoned spooks, or to spook with obsessive, repetitious behavior patterns, which he does have.
I can see where you're coming from with
Always
that, yeah.
manifesting at a certain place in time, even when the ghost can be captured or eliminated. Some agency continues to produce successive hauntings, such as ghosts reappear periodically until the source can be disabled. So that's why I got repeating, and then I got remnant because it's a spirit that remains in this world as a result of being unable to completely cross over, as opposed to those that chose to return to the mortal plane. He's looking for his head, so he's stuck here. He can't completely cross over until he gets his head. So that's why I chose a class 3, fully formed, focused, repeating remnant.
Yeah, I added tangible. I ended corporeal because he seems to be very tangible. He was able to.
Then I'll add corporeal to mine too. A class 3, full torso, focused, corporeal, repeating remnant.
All right.
I think we nailed it. I think
we did.
I think we got the Headless Horseman down in Tobin's Spirit Guide. I think we're going to start a list now with that being the first entry into our Tobin Spirit Guide. Let's give some applause for that. Awesome. All right. Well, I mean, we got it. I don't know if y'all agree with me in the chat or agree with us. There's a little bit of differential. Would you agree with me, or do you think that yours is more accurate?
I think our combination of two gave us a pretty good.
Okay, so
grounding.
So we'll go with a class 3 focused, full torso, corporeal, repeating remnant.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, we'll go with that then. All right. Well, that sounds like a fucking that's awesome. We got our first entry into our own Tobin Spirit Guide. I guess it's Theta's Spirit Guide. But
the Theta Guide,
the
spirits.
The Theta Spirit Spirit Guide. But fucking MageGrayWolf does all the legwork. I can't take any of the credit for all the research that he put into this show.
We definitely gotta make classifying these things as stable as shows.
Exactly. I think that's gonna be like the thing that we that's gonna be separate this this stream from other streams, is that we're actually going to make our own classification, like our own class guide for.
You have this written down, or do?
Oh yeah, I have it saved.
Good.
I have it saved, so I'm starting a new Google Doc.
Send that to me after the show.
Okay,
along with
I will.
Along with those files on how to figure out what I can put up on YouTube.
All right, sounds good. Penny, thank you so much for sticking around the whole time. God bless you, Penny. I hope you have a good night as well. I'm tired as well. So we're just now at the 2 hour and 33 minute and 20-second mark. And Buckethead, formerly known as Jeff Daniels, awesome. Now classify Master Vile. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. We'll get to it. But do you want to plug anything before we get out of here? Because before you plug anything, I really do want to. I just want to kiss your ass a little bit because you really did put in a lot of work, and I'm so grateful to have you as
maybe
a,
just
as,
put my
as a
maybe just
member
put my
here.
my link to my
I
site there.
was
in the private chat.
I have it already. I was literally
Oh,
about
okay.
to put it in the chat for everybody. But yeah, I had a blast tonight. Like, I think this is the best show. This is the most fun that I've ever had on the Paranormal Files. Well, now that we're calling it the Paranormal Files, I think this is the most in-depth and professional show that we've done as far as a paranormal show. And I hope that y'all enjoyed it as well. I can't thank you enough, Mage, for all the work you put in. I'm just blessed that, forgive me for saying blessed, but
Don't worry about it.
But I feel very blessed to have you on the team and helping to be the skeptic of the group, and you put so much work into the research and coming up with all sorts of facts that I would have never been able to have time to find. So thank you so much. And now go ahead and plug away. Let me put on let me put on some music for you.
Yeah,
All right.
So we have Mage's his media musings. I will go over all sorts of things across pop culture. I have my Sunday show at 8 p.m. Eastern, where I cover movie trivia. Read stories. I might be doing a new segment on playing old radio broadcasts for a little bit. Then maybe my dog Molly will show up from time to time. And I also do lots of singing, so bring your earplugs.
Awesome. I'll have to come on there and maybe we can do a duet or something because I pretend to sing sometimes.
Oh, in fact, actually, I'm not sure when I'm going to be doing it, but I have this whole idea for a future episode where I cover all 4 of the Ghostbuster movies. I want to have you and possibly File 13 on.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'd love that. I would love that so much. Yeah, but I would love to come on and sing with you, brother, and maybe sometime you can come on and sing here. I'm planning on doing some members only streams and party and stuff. Well, we're gonna do the party streams, not just members, but we'll have member streams as well where people can come on and just bullshit and say whatever.
Yeah, I figure my singing is somewhere between okay and dear God, my ears are bleeding.
See, that's where I was. See, I was told by a few people that I had a decent voice, so I got it in my head like, well, maybe I should sing. And so I sing karaoke a lot.
Well,
and
I'm not worrying about. I'm not worrying about whether I'm actually good or not. People seem to be enjoying it, so.
Well,
okay,
I stopped singing because people, I think, stopped. They started leaving. They're like, all right, like you can do this maybe once or twice, but you're doing it way too much, and this isn't what I came here for. So
well, apparently it's not driving people away when I'm doing it.
Well, I stopped doing it until I actually get my voice in a spot where I can actually carry a tune like I used to be able to. I mean, I used to be a pretty decent singer, so I thought that maybe I'd still have it, but I got work to do, definitely. But yeah, it's all about fun anyway. Tonight was a blast, and I just want to thank all of y'all so much for sticking around. And as far as this channel is concerned, I'm planning on doing a interview with Andy Masterson this Saturday at 9 p.m. Central Time about creating customizing figures, dioramas, using polymorphic plastics, I'm going to be customizing my Lord Draken figure into my Theta Ranger figure. And so I'm going to be getting his Andy Masterson's, he makes Doomcock's figures, and he has, he makes Ranker Steve's and Gary's, everybody. He makes them all. But he does 12-inch figures. This is an 8-inch figure. But yeah, so basically I'm going to interview him and try and just encourage people out there to go and create something, man, because I love customizing my figures. I have a ton of Transformers that I customize, probably about 30% of them. I have a lot of fun doing it. It makes me feel good to make them look more cartoon G1 accurate. So I love doing it, and I'm starting to actually get pretty good at it. And so we're going to be changing this figure into my Theta Ranger figure. And it shouldn't be too hard, actually. So we're going to have fun doing that. Then Sunday, obviously, we're going to have Cosmic Theta Theater 2117 again, as always, at 9 p.m. Central Time. Maybe 9:30, depending on if Tony is going to be on another show that runs a little bit late sometimes, which is all right. We can wait on him. He's worth waiting on. So we'll be doing that, and I promise we'll be having a better movie this week. And I have a educational video on levers. We're going to be learning.
Or you can just lean into the terrible movies.
No. It was too bad. Like, I thought it was going to be bad in the sense, like, bad fun, but it was bad. Like, we were just like, oh my God, can this just end already? Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. It was fun anyway. And, I had like a little puzzle that we put together. And Sigvaldson, if you're out there, Sigvaldson, thank you so much for being a producer on the show. Casey's Creepy Creations also. Y'all have saved my ass. Sigvaldson, specifically, you saved my ass from getting an overdraft charge, helping me out there. So if you're out there or watching the rerun, I appreciate you so much. It was a blessing. Thank you so much. And other than that, we're going to be doing the same thing over again. Doing Sunday, the Cosmic Theta Theater 2117. Then probably do, I don't know, I might do like a pre-game show again on Monday, going into Tony's Monday night games. And then on Tuesday, again, we're going to have the phenomenon files. I'll figure out what we're going to be talking about next week. And just come back. And I'm also going to be putting out more videos doing reactions to things like that Batman versus Darth Vader video I put out, and things like that. So look forward to a lot of videos. I'm going to start pumping out a ton of content on this channel, hoping that the YouTube algorithm will pick it up like they did when I was doing music video reactions. And I was getting like 10,000 views on each video. If you go back and look at my my videos from last September, like I was getting a lot of views, but I wasn't making any money because all the music videos were copyright, so I wasn't able to monetize them. So I didn't want to stick with music video reactions anyway. I wanted to get into my passion, which is nerdy pop culture, film, TV shows, comic books, cartoons, action figures, anime, all that stuff. So anyway, that's a huge plug. I should have pulled that out of my ass a long time ago and stopped that. Anyway, but thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you all for being here. May the power protect you, and may the skeletons in your closet and the ghoulies and the ghosties stay away from you tonight, and just stay under the bed. Have a good night, everyone.
whispers in the night. Unseen threads connect the cosmic light. Pages flipping in the spirit guide. Truths concealed by a universe wide. Phenomenon files we delve so deep. Through the black void where secrets sleep. Ghostly echoes and celestial screams. Mapping mysteries that outshine dreams. Stardust forms an encrypted code. Fragmented tales of a lost abode. Professionals searching through the haze. Cataloging the otherworldly blaze. Phenomenon files we delve so deep. Through the black void where secrets sleep. Ghostly echoes and celestial screams. Mapping mysteries that outshine dreams. Signals hum on a frequency strange. Supernatural whispers shift and change. Tobin's whispers guide us through the streams. Boundaries blur between truth and dreams. Orbiting questions without a tether. A fabric of worlds stitched together. Stars hold answers locked in disguise. A galaxy adorned
I've got one that can see.